Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 108, I think. Yes, episode 108 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear, where this week we're doing a double bill. Oh my god. Silent Hill and Silent Hill Revelation, but not in 3D. I know the trailer just said 3D, but it's not in 3D unless you. I found a weird thing. It might just be me, I don't know, but sometimes if I look at the TV, kind of at an angle through my glasses, depending on the colours on the screen, it kind of gives a 3D effect. I'm not kidding. Usually with reds and blues, they kind of jump out at me. But that's just me. That's just me. No, this stream isn't in 3D. But anyway. But as I said, if you look at it at a funny angle like that, it might be. Or you can put some 3D glasses on and see what happens. If you're watching through a 3D TV, you have a 3D button, haven't you? So you can press that and it'll turn it into 3D automatically. I would do it on my telly, but that's not a 3D telly. My 3D TV is upstairs and my son's got it and he won't let me have it back. I'm tempted to just buy him a new telly so I can steal my old 3D TV back. But anyway, where were we? Oh, my Silent Hill. Right, so anyway, Windgrace is here saying it's awfully foggy today, and I replied with helps with the draw distance, which is referring to the original game of Silent Hill, which we'll get into very shortly. So you're saying it is from a certain point of view. A certain point of view? Yes, you will find that many things depend on our point of view. For instance, you may go and look at something kind of like that out of the corner of your eye, and it might appear 3D, my young apprentice. Anyway, whatever. Right, Silent Hill. We're beginning with Silent Hill. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. But subscribe! We're so close to I've not been saying this for the past week. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're on 996. Eh, dear. And Josh is here with his harpoon at the ready to get the booby nurses and the what else have we got? The pyramid head and the other creatures that we're going to come across in Silent Hill. Some great effects in both these films. But Josh is going to protect us with his harpoon. Right, what were I saying? Oh, yes. Subscribe and all that stuff, because we're so close to 1,000. It'd be cool if I could just hit 1,000. It'd be nice. Windgrace says, you'll get there. I lost 5 this last week. I've gained them and then lost them again. I think I know who it was. I think it was the naughty people that come on the street. If I leave the chat open to... this always does it, doesn't it? Target reached. Can you see it? Hang on, there we go. Target reached. Always does it when I'm doing these streams. Because I wave my arms about and it thinks I'm walking. It's my step counter. Thinks I'm walking. Anyway, where were we? I forgot where I was now. Oh, yes. Subscribers. We gained a few. We got to 999 and then it went down again to 993. And I think it was the naughty people that come in. If I just leave the chat open to non-members, if you're a member, you can join in the chat. If you're a non-member, or if you're a special person to me and I make you an approved user, then you can join in the members chat. But otherwise, you have to become a member to join in the chat. Otherwise, we get naughty people coming on and saying naughty things and disrupting the chat. So, and I think it was some of those that had subscribed and then they noticed that I'd changed it to members only and then unsubscribed again. I'm guessing that's what's happened. Anyway, right, so where were we? I forgot where I was now. I said subscribers, didn't I? Drop a comment. Yes, all that stuff. Explore the description. It says down there, links in description, if you can read it. For links for merch, such as t-shirts like this, or caps, not like this, like other caps. And mugs, and bags, and aprons, and what else do they do? Fridge magnets, coasters. They do all sorts of things at Spreadshirt with my designs on, if you can call them that. Check them out for that. Also, links for my books, Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi, action-adventure, about UFOs and stuff like that. Nice big thick tome. It used to be 3 books. I wrote a trilogy of books, but they were, pardon me, just like regular length. But I stuck them all together and republished it. Anyway, And Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats, genetically engineered big cats that decide to start eating people in a North Yorkshire village. They're on Amazon, Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. Give them a whirl. They're not super expensive in paperback. They're even cheaper in Kindle. Right, is that it? Are we done? Right, so Silent Hill. This is what we're watching. I've got the right way around. Oh, I have. Silent Hill and Silent Hill Revelation. Which is the best? The first one, obviously. But this one isn't a bad film. I don't think it is. But we'll get into that. Right. So, is there anything else I've got to say? Later on, I'll upload it to Spotify and Amazon Music Podcasts. Right, off we go. So, we may begin. And Archmage Frey, that mysterious man from Twitch, says, I'm lost in a strange town. Unlike Bonnie Tyler, who was lost in France. I'll just reply to Archmage Frey on Twitch with a smiley face. There we go. Right, is that it? Right, so, Silent Hill. We will begin with information about Silent Hill from 2006, obviously based on the popular Konami video games that originally started on the PlayStation 1, which is why I mentioned Draw Distance at the beginning. On the PlayStation 1 game, they decided to make the town of Silent Hill all foggy. So they didn't have pop-up, which were, a bugbear of PlayStation 1 and later consoles. But thought, if make the town misty, the creatures can come out of the fog and they won't just appear, pop up, So that's why Silent Hill's all misty. There's a myth going round that Silent Hill is based on the town of Centralia in Pennsylvania, but it's not. Not the game, anyway. The Silent Hill in the movie that we're about to watch, the writer, Roger Avery, were inspired by the story of the town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, which were a mining town which had a big fire started beneath the town in the 60s, and it's still burning to this day, and the town is essentially evacuated now. There's about 5 people live there now, but so there we go. So that's that myth dispelled. Right, anyway, so the film Silent Hill from 2006, directed by Christophe Gans. I don't know if he's French or French-Canadian. He's French. Who were a big fan of the games. He did say, he was inspired by the game that he played on PlayStation 1, but this film is more, I suppose, based on Silent Hill 2, which came out for the PlayStation 2. But anyway, as I said, written by Roger Avery, stars Radha Mitchell, Sean Bean, or as my mum used to call him, Sean Bean, Laurie Holden, Deborah Cara Unger, Kim Coates, Tanya Allen, Alice Krieger, or is it Krieg? I've heard it pronounced both ways. I've even heard it pronounced Krieg. I'll say Krieg. And Jodelle Furland. Who did the music for it, by the way? A couple of people who I've never heard of. I think some of the music is by the fellow that did the music for the games, which I think is Akira Yamaoka. But anyway. Had a budget of $50 million, and its box office was $100 million. I think it was more than that, actually. But anyway. So it did okay. But it didn't get a sequel for 6 years. But enough of that. Just says, that's what I thought. Was it based off that town? Like I said, the film were inspired by it. Winker says, I've been there, it's cool. I thought it were hot because there's a fire raging underneath. Makes me sad to know it wasn't. Well, like I said, the original game wasn't, but the movie was. And I suppose the later games that were kind of carried on from the movie and took things from the movies. You could say they were, but originally it wasn't. The original Japanese game. I want to go, said Josh Temple. If I get to Pennsylvania to see my dad, I may go. Obviously, I've never been, because I've never been to America, and I'm likely never to. Plus, I haven't got a passport, but that's by the by. Right, what am I doing? I don't know. Right, so we get on with the film, shall we? Get on with the film. As usual, not be just watching a series of stills. I'm going to try and not to play any, clips or whatever, because bloody copyright claims are coming thick and fast recently on YouTube. Pain in the bum. And you what they call it? You dispute them because you rewatch the part that the claim is on. Cause it tells you on your control panel or whatever you've got for YouTube. It tells you what part of the video the copyright claims come from, and you watch it. And I'm talking through it, and it's all stills or maybe like a couple of seconds of moving image, and you think, how is that breaching copyright? So you do a dispute, and then usually if it's Warner Brothers or Universal, straight away dispute rejected. And you can't do anything about it then. You can appeal, but then you might get a copyright strike, which is a threat to your channel. Anyway, right, so off we go. We'll get on with the film. Right, so I will get rid of that and pop myself down in the corner, and we shall begin. I can't remember which one it is. Is it that one? Yes, I can never remember. I've got umpteen like custom settings, and I can never remember which one to choose, because I'm an idiot. Right, off we go. Let's full screen this baby, and we'll begin. Hang on, let's make sure it's going to start. Yes, it is. Off we go. Right, so we begin. Here we go with the good old Columbia logo. I think the DVD that I watched earlier on, because for some reason my computer wouldn't play the file that we're watching here. For some reason it wouldn't play it through me telly. So to get the DVD out, whatever. But anyway, this is it's a Pathé, distributed by Pathé, which kind of fills me full of nostalgia because it reminds me of Sleepy Hollow, which were one of the first DVDs I ever bought, and that was a Pathé thing. Right, off we go. So, right, we begin. We'll try Columbia TriStar. We begin straight away. The lovely Radha Mitchell, who's an Australian actress. They must have a thing about Australian actresses for Silent Hill. Australian actresses and British actors, because both films have an Australian actress and a British actor as the two leads. This one, it's Radha Mitchell and Sean Bean, and in Silent Hill Revelations, I've forgotten the name. Hang on. Adelaide Clemens and Kit Harington of Game of Thrones fame. So there you go. Who are Australian and British respectively. Not retrospectively, respectively. Anyway, we begin. They're out shouting, Sharon! They're looking for their kid. They don't know where she is. She's disappeared from their house. There's seen Bean in the background. So they're going looking through the woods, find a teddy bear. Anyway, I don't know what Sean Bean's doing, but it's up to Radha Mitchell, because she's the hero of the film, heroine, whatever. I know what Sean Bean's doing. He's nearly getting run over by CG vehicles. Is it this bit? It's not this bit. Here we go. I think the CG, they look CG to me. We're coming up on it. Anyway, she finds her somewhere. I think she's down there. She's not going to jump off that waterfall. There she is. Jodelle Ferland, who you may know from like Stargate and Dark Matter, and she's been in a few films. Especially as a kid, she was good at playing creepy little kids. But now she's all grown up now, obviously. There she is. She doesn't appear. Oh, never mind, it's gone off. She isn't in the sequel, but the girl that they got in to play her does actually look a lot like her. But we'll get to that. Anyway, right. So then she's looking down here, and we're going to get a glimpse at a Silent Hill. I don't really know what's going on here, but a Silent Hill style hellscape. That's Alessa looking up at her. Anyway, and for some reason there's a big cross in the background. So she grabs her. She's screaming, Silent Hill, Silent Hill. Anyway, I've seen Bean nearly getting run over, haven't I? Hang on, let's show us. Let's see, with the CG cars. There we go. Very, very CG vehicles, look. Only Sean Bean's CG and the cars are real. Who knows? But anyway, there he is. risking life and limbs. It's really busy for some reason there, isn't it? But anyway. That's the last time I think we see a busy road in this film. Anyway, they get her. So she's been sleepwalking, we learn, and talking about Silent Hill. Anyway, they get her back home. And there we go. And then we get the titles. I think we get the music. Let's just... I said I wasn't going to play any bloody clips from it, but is it going to start? Bet we've missed it. Bet I've gone too far. The famous music. It didn't do in it, is it? Could have sworn it did. I don't. Maybe it's just this. Maybe it's this version that does. I'm sure it plays the that. I'm sure it did, but obviously not. Right, so there she is doing a. Looks more like a painting, but she's colouring it in with a pencil. That's very weird, but anyway, whatever. A picture of animals and a sloth and some sort of birds and a tiger. And I don't know who that's supposed to be. But anyway, there she is. Very artistic. I thought the hills were alive with the sound of music. Oh, okay. I've obviously mentioned... I forgot about the name now. Thingamabob. Julie Andrews. Right, so she's asking her here, what's all this about Silent Hill? She doesn't remember. She's all, I don't remember, mummy. Oh, what in an American accent. By the way, Sean Bean's American accent is about as good as mine. Why don't they just make him speak in normal accent, Sean? We'll say you're an Englishman who's moved over. But never mind. So, she's decided she's going to take, what's her face? I forgot her name already. Sharon. She's going to take Sharon. By the way, Radha Mitchell's character's called Rose. Rose, De something. De what's her face? Rose De Silva. There we go. Why? Don't know. Why did they pick De Silva? Because neither of them are like, Hispanic or anything like that. But they just have. They're not called... The new they're not characters from the game, I don't think. But anyway. So she's going to take her to Silent Hill. So that's what she's decided. They don't even need an excuse. Arnold and Sean Connery just speak no matter which country they're from. Yes, they do. Let them sing. In our Pranishdeva. Or whatever he says in Up for Red October. But anyway. Yes, but whatever. Right, so what does this say? Corinthians 6:2-3. 2-3. Do you not know that we will judge angels? Do you not know that the saints will judge the world? Because this film's technically about people judging other people, which we'll get to later when we meet Alice Krieg. Right. By the way, Alice Krieg, Star Trek reference. She played the Borg Queen in Star Trek First Contact and Star Trek Voyager. In the second film, Revelations. Is it Revelation or Revelations? No, just Revelation. We've got Malcolm McDowell, who were in Star Trek Generations, wasn't he? He played Dr. Saurine. I know it's Soren, but I call him Saurine. In that, so both films have a Star Trek connection. Anyway, there's Sean Bean on the phone. I think he's realised she's buggered off with the kid. He goes looking on the... She's been searching for that look, and he realises she's gone. And then he cancels her credit cards straight away for some reason. There you go. She's been looking up the town with the underground fires still burning. It's been 21 years, has it? All right. Since the tragic fire. Right, so off she goes. There she goes. She's heading towards Silent Hill. And they stop at a gas station. I'm going to check the spelling here now. If it shows us. When she gets to this gas station. Because they're in a town. They're not in Silent Hill yet. They're in a town that's called Brahms. And there's a sign somewhere. Oh, here comes Laurie Holden. Come on, where is it? Then she's asleep now. She's been drawing scary pictures of people with blue eyes. I don't know, that's not even referenced anywhere else in the film. I don't think. But anyway. Then she's saying, why did you change your picture? She said, I didn't, Mummy, and all that stuff. And there you go. Because they're kind of scary. It says Braham's there, look. But I'm sure we see a road sign later on, and I think they spelt it Brahms with no second A in it. I could be wrong. I could have just misread it. Anyway, she's put gas in the car. There's Laurie Holden. We may have known from that Walking Dead and a million other things. And by the way, in this film, they've got two hot blondes in calf-length boots. Can't go wrong, can you? I don't think I'll be able to contain myself. Anyway. For some reason, she's kind of suspicious at Rose. But anyway, so she's going to check it out. There you go. She's paying for the gas, and we learn that her credit card's been declined. So she gets on the phone to Sean Bean. Christopher, he's called, by the way. Why have you cancelled the credit cards? And he's telling her, you shouldn't be going there. You should have brought her home and stuff like that. Laurie Holden plays Sybil Bennett, Officer Sybil Bennett. I think a lot of the characters in it are from the first and second games. I think Sybil Bennett were in the first game, I think. It's a long time since I've played the first two games, and I kind of dabbled in some of the others, but not got very far in them. But I think I played the first two, to completion. But this is like 20 odd years ago. I've not replayed them, recently. So my memory's a bit fuzzy. But if I'd have played them yesterday, I still wouldn't have known, would I? My memory's that bad. There you go, she's moaning. Why have you cancelled my credit cards? I could have sworn I put the subtitles on. Let me check. Make sure the subtitles are on. Yes, they are on. Oh, right. There you go. Come on, show us. Oh, there we go. There you go. They got her on medication for her sleepwalking and all that, but it obviously wasn't working. So she's thinking she's going to take her to Silent Hill and see if that helps. And by the way, she's adopted, is Sharon. They adopted her as a baby. Anyway, so she's going, and he's obviously going to follow her. She's asking, everything all right, ma'am? Yeah, fine, thanks. So off she goes. Right, then we cut to I think this is a CG rendering of a road. Then we see the car winding down the road. She's got a big colouring book that's got colouring book in big block letters, which is from the game. I remember that from the first game. Right, so she's driving along. Yes. And Officer Bennett, Sybil, we'll call her Sybil. She puts the lights on. I don't know why she's pulling her over. Maybe she's just suspicious, I don't know. But because we learn later that Sybil, when the fire started, oh no, I'm lying. A few years earlier, a man had kidnapped a kid and thrown it down a mine shaft or something. So thrown the kid down a mine shaft, and Sybil had found the kid and stayed with the kid until rescue came. So she's always been suspicious of seeing people with kids. I suppose particularly in the middle of the night, maybe, I don't know. But anyway. So she pulls her over. Right, here we go. So she's waiting now. This is where we see the road sign. They're going to show it. Oh no, it does say Braham. For some reason in my head I thought that second day wasn't there, but never mind. And then we see Silent Hill as the next turn off. So she's going to basically run away from the copper. She tells Sharon to fasten the seatbelt. And off she goes. She drives away, look, and up the turn off, which is just there, thankfully. But anyway, off we go. By the way, she'd been asking in the gas station or diner, whatever it was, how to get to Silent Hill, and said, you can't get there anymore because it's all closed off because of the fire, and there's actually a gate stopping you from getting there. But she just smashes through it because she doesn't care. There we go. Because she doesn't care, because she wants to get there. Because there's not a big hole there, isn't there? But there is going to be a big hole soon. But luckily she doesn't fall down it. Right, so anyway, for some reason, Sharon's all scared. And then she just crashes. She sees somebody step out Right, here we go. See somebody step out. This is a lesser stepping out, by the way. And there's a bit in the trailer which we might have seen earlier on. My little clip thing at the beginning, where she like goes. The car passes through a lesser. Lesser goes like that, passes through her. They don't show it. They don't show it in the film. There we go. She just skids the car and comes to a halt. And Sci-Fi Quest is here. Sorry, I've been on the hill being silent. At least you're not over the hill like me. Anyway. Where were we? Right, so, she crashed. She hasn't crashed the car. She's just come to a sudden stop, and I think she's knocked herself out on the steering wheel because she's got a bit of a bump on her nose or whatever. And then we have a slow fading. She comes to, and we see there's all like snow falling. Except it's not snow, it's ash. I like that old folk song, Over the Hills and Far Away. I know it more as a Gary Moore song, which is really good. Anyway, what's her face? Sharon's disappeared along with her colouring book. So she's looking around for her, calling Sharon, calling her name, and she doesn't know where she is. And then she notices it's ash that's falling, it's not snow. Right, so she heads it. There we go. She heads into town with a famous sign, "Welcome to Silent Hill." There it is. So off she goes into town. And they keep it, pretty close to the game when we see, street names and stuff like that. So in the game, the street names were named after horror and science fiction writers like Bradbury and all that stuff, and Bachman. Not named after Bachman Turner Overdrive, Richard Bachman. Anyway, so she's in the town. It's all misty and foggy and ashy, and Wingate says, "Ash versus Pyramid Head. Cook." Does that mean cool? That'd be good though, wouldn't it? Good crossover. Groovy. Ash versus Pyramid Head. Anyway, so she's looking. She sees her in the distance. I think in a minute. I think. After she does this, I said I wasn't going to play any clips, didn't I? Sometimes you've got to, because the skip function. She sees somebody cross the street, and so she goes running after him. There we go. And it's obviously not Sharon, because I think she's wearing different clothes. I don't think Sharon was wearing these. I could be wrong, but I think it's supposed to be a lesser. By the way, Sharon looks just like a lesser, and there's a reason for it. Josh Temple says, "Ash would win every time. Need the swagger to win, and he has it in spades. He does indeed." And he gets on with it, doesn't he? Because there's not a lot of yappening and a lot of happening with Ash, isn't there? Anyway, so she's chasing after this little girl that's running away from her. This is straight from the first game, this shot. Because you do end up in there's a few little cul-de-sacs or side streets where there's just, garages and stuff like that lining it. And it's straight from the first game is that shot. Yes, Ash has a boomstick, he does. So here she goes, and then going down a creepy staircase. I think we might be hearing the sirens now. We start hearing the sound going, brrr. Let's have a listen, see if it is.
Sharon?
Maybe not, in a minute. Oh, is it now? There we go. Start hearing the sirens. That's not a good sign in Silent Hill. It means the darkness is coming, and I don't mean they're going to start singing. I know I said it in another stream ages ago. I'm not going to start singing, "I believe in a thing called love." That one. Not that, the darkness. It's not, I forgot his name now. Justin, not Justin Hawkins, is it? No, it's the darkness, where the town changes. It changes from being like just a town, albeit shrouded in fog, to an industrial metal hellscape. which we're going to see in a bit. Right, all goes dark and she's got a lighter. Luckily, she's got a Zippo. Does she smoke? Why has she got a Zippo lighter? Maybe for emergencies such as this. This is The Darkness is also a good video game too. Yeah, I think I've got it somewhere, or I used to have it. I don't think I ever finished it, but yeah, cool. Who is she going to call? Not the Ghostbusters, that's for sure. Well, yeah. How do you know it's not the band The Darkness? Well, we don't see them or hear them in the film, so maybe they're in the background. In the darkness. Anyway, so she's looking around here. We see all the walls have changed now. They've all gone manky. I have a Zippo, but don't use it for cigars, just for safety or safety. Okie dokie. Bet use it for. Bet you've got a pipe. I bet Josh Temple's got a pipe. And I mean for tobacco. Anyway, where were we? Right. So, we see the background. Look, it's all changing. Look in the background. Look. Right now, I'm sure Radha Mitchell or her character Rose must have asbestos hands because she's going to walk round here. Here we go. She's walking around now with a hand just over the flame. Wouldn't that be getting rather hot? But anyway. Did want a new one. A new pipe or a new Zippo, I don't know. Josh Bombadil. Coming in with his blue coat and his yellow boots. Anyway. Where is she? Oh, she's burning her hand, but, obviously not bothered. She must have a high pain threshold, which I suppose you need in Silent Hill, don't you? But here she is, walking about. Looking for the girl. Looking for Sharon. And we see it's all, all the walls have turned to metal, and then we get lots of chain link fence and stuff like that. And tarpaulins. And then she sees something that seems not quite right. She's kind of disgusted by it. Don't get a good look. I imagine it's not very nice. And then she sees her again. Just out the corner of her eye. Sees her. She goes running after her. There she is. Look, goes running after her. And this is where we find our first hideousness of Silent Hill. She sees some guts and there we go. Some offal on the floor. She looks up. And it's some poor soul. Hang on, where are we? There we go. Some poor soul that's been disemboweled and hung up on the fence. And then we notice that he's still blooming alive because we can hear him breathing or gasping for breath. Look, he doesn't look happy, does he? Like I say, it's like a hellish landscape, isn't it, where she's in like a form of hell. And then this thing comes up behind her. I don't know what they call it. They had these kind of in the game. But I think we just saw them in the school where they were smaller than this. But if they did touch you, it made your health go down a bit. And they just made these little squeaky noises. I can't remember what they called them. But these are kind of like that. And like I said, terrifying in this. I think they're scarier in this than they are in the bloody game. But there they are. A lot of practical effects in this, but that are like people in costumes and stuff like this. But they've, they're enhanced with CGI and stuff, and it's quite effective. There we go. So she's screaming, running off, and loads more of them come. They're all chasing after her. By the way, they were played by normal-sized actresses. One of them in particular, they might have just been the same one. They just duplicated. I don't know. I think she's an Asian, of Asian origins. The surname Eng. I can't remember the first name. Let's have a look, see if we can find out. Because I'm curious now. Look for the name Eng. Oh, is it Eng? Yvonne, that's it. Yvonne Eng. They call him Grey Child in this, Grey Children. And the armless man that we're going to see in a bit is Michael Coter. And the Pyramid Head, but in the films for some reason they call him Red Pyramid. Roberto Campanella. So there we go. But that's later. Right, Sci-Fi Quest says, does everyone remember the 1993 TV movie The Dark? Something is alive beneath the surface of the graveyard. I think I might have seen it. It does ring a bell. Or am I thinking of the James Herbert book? Was it based on that? I can't remember. Anyway, it does ring a bell. Just as I can relate to Tom, as in Tom Bombadil, but he feels way too passive to me. I've never read the Lord of the Rings books, so I don't know bugger all about it. I've got them. I've said this before, but I've not read them. Not ringing a bell, says Wingrace. Or at Wingrace. Or that was Sci-Fi Quest that said it. Anyway, right. Not ringing a bell, Paul White either. I'm sure I've seen it, The Dark. It does ring a bell. I think I might have rented it or something from the video library back in the day. It does sound familiar. Anyway. Right, so she's running away from the Grey Children. They're all squeaking and screeching at her. She can't get away. Looks all this chain link fence and they're grabbing hold of her. Anyway, she gets into... she was running away through the maze of chain link fences. And she gets into this place here, just through this door. And she falls over and they're all coming in and getting her. Or trying to get her. There you go, they're grabbing at her. And then suddenly... they all just disintegrate for some reason. There we go, they're all starting to... in a minute. There you go. They all start just disintegrating and disappearing. Because I think she must have been there a while. Because we don't hear the siren going off, I don't think. So it's like not daytime's coming. Do we? No, I don't hear it. Don't hear the siren. So I don't know why they've disappeared. Now, Tom's love for his lady, that I'm spot on with him. My wife is my world. Oh, bless, bless, bless. No disintegrations. But that's what they're just doing, and just disintegrate. And she passes out, and there we go. And when she comes to, everything's back to normal again. So I'm just like that shot, for some reason. That's when she comes to, everything's back to normal again. So it's daytime. I don't know if it just happens at night or does it become night. I don't know, but anyway. Just him says he's way out of my league, as in his wife. Thank God, she's insane and thinks I'm a good guy. You are a good guy, Josh. That's why she loves you. Right. Anyway. She's, I think it's a diner she's in, isn't it? Because there's a diner in the game, isn't there? And I think she's in the diner here. I think in the game, this is where she meets, well, maybe not meets, but she encounters Sybil again, doesn't she? It's a bowling alley. Oh, I've just realised. We've got a bowling alley. It's opening up in my town in February 2025, which Aidan should like. She likes going bowling. Anyway, that's by the by. Normally we have to go to the next town over to go bowling. Right, so she comes out. By the way, this was filmed in, I've forgotten. We filmed in Canada. Both films were filmed in Canada. Brantford, Ontario, Canada. And for the Silent Hill Main Street. Other places, New Brunswick, St. George, New Brunswick. Toronto, Hamilton, Winnipeg. So it's filmed all over, basically all over Canada, and at sound stages in Canada. Yes, Hamilton, Burford Township. Yes, there we go. So it's basically filmed in Canada. Both of them were. Bowling, what are we, American? He likes bowling. 10-pin bowling, not crown green bowling. I'm old enough to be doing that, aren't I? But anyway. I don't play a bad game of pool, by the way. I haven't played pool or out like that for years. I haven't. Anyway. So here we are. Right, so she comes out and notices it's all changed. You know, we're all chain link fencing and all stuff like that, and you know, a hellish industrial landscape. But now she comes out now, and it's all changed. There's like wooden fences and stuff like that. So anyway, so she carries on looking for Sharon. Just carries on. This is when she runs down the street, and this is where she comes across a sheer precipice. There it is. She can't get out of town. Don't know why. I know why they did it in the game, so you had to go where the game told you to go. So they just made it, there were like roadblocks or whatever that you couldn't get past. Or the sheer precipice. But anyway, this is where we encountered Dahlia Gillespie. There she is. She comes up behind her. Again, this is just like in the game. She's played by Deborah Cara Unger, who I used to really, really fancy. She's a very statuesque woman, and she does kind of remind me of that. I forgot the name of the character. Wingrace will know, the woman that played the ancient that were frozen, that had that disease in was it Stargate SG-1 she were in, and she was also in Atlantis, Stargate Atlantis as well, wasn't she? At the beginning, and she also played Colonel. Oh, I can't remember his name. The main Colonel's wife in Stargate Universe, didn't she? But she always reminds me of her, but it's not her. Josh Temple says, I love pool, owned a full-size slab table for decades, but gave it to a friend a few years back. She's looking for Sharon more than Ozzy. I've just watched an Ozzy video. Just relaxing, waiting for the stream. I had some music videos on YouTube playing. One of them were Ozzy. Two of them actually were Ozzy. That's the British countryside in a few years. Okay. What? Just all dug up? I have no idea what that means. Ayana. Is that the name of the woman? Oh, right, from the ancient from Stargate, right. Right. I thought you just stubbed your toe, and that was an exclamation. Ayana. Anyway. Right, so she's going to come here. She does a little bit of exposition or whatever. We've all lost. She's telling her that she's looking for her daughter, and then I think she shows her. She's got like a locket with a picture of Sharon in it, and she shows her it. She says, "Oh, she's mine," because she just looks like the spitting image of Dahlia Gillespie's daughter. That's where she's going to show her look. She says, "Oh, she's mine," and then she says, "Get off me," and she pushes her away. She goes running off again. Right, meanwhile, back at Braham's gas station, Seed Beans arrived and is going to ask about his, have you seen my wife? She was ready for Silent Hill. And then this mechanic, another bit of exposition saying, you don't want to go in there because there was a fire and you can't get there. It's all blocked off because the town's closed down because of the fire and all that stuff. So that's what he's saying. Oh, aye. And he says, you don't want to go there because there's all fumes and stuff. Breathe it in and it'll kill you. There you go. Breathe enough of them fumes, bound to kill you. Then he puts a cigarette in his mouth. Yeah, I'm sure that was deliberate. Anyway, so he pays him some money and he says, how do I get there? Oh, he says, where's the turn off? And I actually said to the telly, well, you just drive along the road and then you see a sign that says Silent Hill that way. You could have saved yourself some money, Sean. But anyway, whatever. So here he is. No hint. Right, so she's gone back to, I think she's gone back to a car now. She finds a picture, one of Sharon's pictures. She's back at the car. And she's going to try and start the car. She finds her phone that were in the car, but she can't get through. I think she leaves a message for Christopher. That's far too tame for me to say after stubbing my toe. It bloody hurts, doesn't it? Lots of bleeping. So she's leaving Christopher a message, but the car won't start. But then Sybil arrives and tells her to get out of the car. And she says, I'm looking for my daughter, I haven't done anything wrong. And said, well, why did you drive off then and all that? Because remember, she stopped her earlier on and she drove away. And obviously Sybil chased after her. And then we learned that she crashed her bike and she got knocked out. She's bleeding. And said, I must have been knocked out for a while. So obviously she's just come to, but she's arresting her, you know, for driving away from her, you know, from stopping her. So she puts handcuffs on her. Luckily, Rada Mitchell's very bendy, we see later on. But anyway. So, she's talking away. She's saying, you shouldn't have driven off. You're under arrest. We're going to head into town. And she said, well, that won't do any good. Oh, no, we're going to walk back. That's what she says. We're going to walk back to Graham's. So they set off. Oh, this is Sean. If you notice, it's not foggy or misty where he is. Oh, no, he's not in Silent Hill yet, but that's by the by. Is there somebody off screen just throwing water at him? Looks like it, doesn't it? Anyway. He's just getting like a distorted message. He's left a message on his answering machine or answering service, and but it's all like breaking up, and she's like, you see this, Sharon, gone to Silent Hill, heading for the school. So that's what it basically gets. Right, so here it is. He's arrived at the road, encounters police people, and they're saying, you know, I think they found his wife's car or whatever abandoned, and there's a crashed motorbike and stuff like that. They're going to go talk to Kim Coates, who plays, I've forgotten the name of his character. Where are you, Kim? Where are you? I can't remember that. Officer Thomas Gucci. Should have remembered that, shouldn't he? Gucci. Are they dog men, please? I don't know. That reference has gone way over my head. Anyway. So this is where he's telling him that why did he come up with bloody subtitles so and then getting the clue as to what he's saying? But anyway. Come on. What have the subtitles gone off again? Subtitle track. English, there. So we try that second one. See if that works any better. Oh, there we go. No, I don't think that's the right one either, is it? Go back to that one. Dunno. Anyway. Oh, yes, I've just remembered. He takes him up to Silent Hill. He tells me, my wife's gone to Silent Hill, and so he's going to take him up to have a look round for her. I've just remembered. There you go. They're coming up on Sybil's bike, which is crashed. You know, women drivers. You know, they both crashed the vehicles. They're both women. I'm just saying. They both look amazing in calf-length boots. And they get to another precipice. Then this one here earlier on. Has there been some massive earthquake or some, you know, huge seismic disturbance? Obviously. But anyway. So they can't get anywhere. So they've got to go back into town, but not before they come across a monster. Here it comes in a minute. There it is, coming around. This is the armless man. There you go, she gets a gun out. And here it comes staggering towards her. And it's got all like, I think it's supposed to be like tar, like hot tar or something like that. It was a paranormal story. Oh, right, I haven't heard that one. Who has crashed more women drivers? Richard Hammond. Well, it's Richard Hammond, isn't it? Anyway. So, anyway, here comes the... I think this is it? I think this is Yvonne Ng as well as the armless man, I think. Or was she the baby? The grey child? No, I think she was the grey child. I think the armless man is a man. He's basically in a big, massive condom they put over him and just, you know, painted stuff on, and then, you know, give him a bit more CG enhancements and stuff. But he's got all this hot, kind of acidic stuff coming out of his, like a hole in his chest. And then she's saying, stay where you are. But then he just sprays it at her, as we'll see. There it goes. Just like alien blood, or xenomorph blood. So she takes the helmet off quick and she shoots the bugger. While that's happening, there you go. Rose runs off. She thinks, right, I'm going now. I'm out of here. So Sybil takes off her jacket as well. You can see it's all like burning into it, and just so we get a good look at her fantastic physique. But anyway, Speaking of women crashing, Troy flying the Enterprise has crashed more, actually. Yes, twice. She's crashed 2 Enterprises, hasn't she? Technically. Leave him alone, he's harmless. Oh, he's got an arm off. Or 2 arms, even. Let's just leave it like that, shall we? Just leave that image there. Never mind. I like Laurie Holden, can you tell? Anyway, right, so... are we in the siren going off? I think we are. I think we're hearing the siren going off. Let's have a listen. Maybe not. Anyway, right. So Rose is running back into town. I'm sure this is in the game as well. I'm sure this is because it looks very familiar. But anyway, and we see how bendy she is. She just gets down. Here we go, and she just just does that, and I won't be able to do that. I can barely touch my toes. I bet I can't even touch my toes, but anyway. But I'm losing weight. I'm going to my weight management class and I'm losing weight, so maybe I will be able to touch my toes soon. 6 kilos in, 3 weeks, a month. I'll say a month. 6 kilos. Anyway, where were we? Right, so she's not got her hands cuffed behind her back now. They're cuffed at the front, but anyway. Right, she's checking out the bus stop signs because they also have handy maps that show us what she needs to see and shows us. There you go, Lindsay Road. I'm trying to think. I don't know what Lindsay refers to, but there you go, Bachman, which is Richard Bachman. A pseudonym for Stephen King. Nearly Avenue. I don't know that one either. That's another one that's eluded me. Madison Street. Don't know. And then she goes to see some more. There we go, there's another one she comes across. So we see some more names. Oh, hang on. What we got here, can we read that? It's a bit small, isn't it? A bit small for my stupid eyes. Anyway, there we go. And then she finds some more. Harris Street, Carroll Street. There'll all be, references to horror or science fiction, such as Midwich School. It's obviously Midwich Cuckoos from John Wyndham. Isn't it John Wyndham? Yes, I think it is John Wyndham, isn't it? Which is a great film. Made into a film in 1960, Village of the Damned. But the book's good as well. I remember reading the book at school, The Midwich Cuckoos, but that's by the by. Right, so she's heading to the school, the Midwich School. So here she goes. Again, big part of the first game. I can't remember the second game much. I remember more the first game than the second game. Anyway, let's make sure we're still going, by the way. We are. We're still going on YouTube. And, yeah. Everything's tickety-boo so far, he says. Right. So here she goes into the school. And we see, it's going to show us, we see a quote behind. It's going to show us it. There we go. The foes of the righteous will be condemned. Psalm 34, verse 21. And then we also see, is it going to show it? We might have gone past it. Unless it's another part. Oh, there we go, that. We see that, which is the symbol of the people that are still there in Silent Hill. Can't say they're living there, because I don't know if they're alive or not. Because spoilers, Silent Hill is kind of in its own little universe. And so I don't know if the dead are alive or in between. I don't know, but or if it's some sort of purgatory, like I say, or limbo, I don't know. But anyway, that's their symbol. I don't know what it represents. I think that's a Greek letter in it, but I don't know what. But anyway. So that's their symbol of their, the brotherhood or whatever. Yes, the inhabitants. Yes, they inhabit the town. Anyway, right. So she's at the school. So she's going to look round for Sharon, because she thinks Sharon's at the school. I can't remember why she thinks Sharon's at the school. There might have been a clue on one of the pictures that she found. I can't remember. But she's looking round. She's in the office, looking up notes and stuff. I think she hears somebody whisper Rose, and I think that might be supposed to be Sean Bean, but I'm not sure. But anyway. Oh, she finds a flashlight, as you call them, over the pond. We call them torches. There you go. Pictures of God. Loyalty. Alright, so here we are. We're in Silent Hill, but you see, it's not all foggy. And Officer Gucci, Detective Gucci, and Christopher, they've arrived. And as you can see, it's not all foggy and stuff. It's just like a normal town. So I don't know how to explain it. As I said, it's like its own universe, and I don't know why when they went, does something have to happen? Do you have to crash your car to get into Silent Hill, or your bike? I don't know, but anyway, right. So, she sees that clothes similar to what she saw the girl wearing. These fellas arrive, so she goes and hides from them. Chaps in gas masks, so she goes running off to another part of the school. She's checking this classroom. In a minute, there you go. She's looking out, and there's no clues, but obviously she recognises Sharon's handprint because she sees that, which says "witch" in big letters scratched on the thing, and she sees that and she goes, "Sharon." So she must recognise Sharon's handprint. But anyway, whatever. She opens the desk and they've got Alessa Gillespie. Midwich English. What's that? What's that? What book's that? Hang on. I can't read it. It's The Riddle of the Red Something, and I can't make out that last word. Can't make out that last word. The Riddle of the Red Whale. I can read it better upside down than right way up. The Riddle of the Red Whale. Never heard of it. I wonder what that's about. I bet Windgrace knows it. Because Windgrace is a all-powerful pan-dimensional mega being, so he knows everything. Alright, then we get a bit of, for some reason, I don't know if Rose is supposed to be seeing this or if it's just for us, but we're getting a bit of a flashback in the form of grainy old film for some reason, showing Alessa Gillespie, who looks just like Sharon, obviously played by Jodelle Furland, being bullied by her classmates. They're calling her a witch, and they only think she's a witch basically because she's the daughter of an unmarried mum, Dahlia Gillespie, and for some reason, because Dahlia won't tell him who her father is, there's no backstory, we don't know. They think she's a witch. It's the 20th century, for Christ's sake. But anyway, so she goes running off again, looking. She sees her going up the stairs, so she goes chasing after her. Ends up in a bathroom. There we go. We get a little glimpse of a foot just going whoop like that. I'm glad I landed on that bit. Because when I was watching it earlier on, I'm thinking, when I'm skipping, I hope I land on that bit. She's not a witch, she's a duck. Okay. There's another reference that's gone. Unless you're referring to the ducking stool. I think which we saw in Witchfinder General. And there's another thing in this that's from, I don't know if it was inspired by Witchfinder General or just burning of witches in general, so to speak. But anyway, that's later. Right, so, I don't know if she saw that. I think she might have just, saw it out the corner of her eye. So, anyway, she can hear somebody saying, right, is it a Monty Python joke? Oh, right. Is it from Holy Grail? I think I've only seen Holy Grail once. Monty Python and the Holy Grail once. So anyway, I've seen Life of Brian several times. I love Life of Brian. And Meaning of Life I've seen a few times as well. But I think I've only seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail once. Anyway, that's by the by. Right, she hears somebody crying and she thinks it's the girl. So she goes to check out the stalls. And she gets to the last stall and can hear this crying coming from it. And she opens it up and we see another hideous sight. There we go. This is the janitor. It's called Colin. It's all wrapped up in barbed wire, double backwards, so his back's broken. And there he is. So she's all retching, but somehow she's noticed that there's something in his mouth. Oh, what does that say? Double dare. Oh, I double dare you. Oh, right, it's pointing. Oh, I pointing at his mouth. So there you go. So there's something in his mouth, so she's got to go and get it. There you go. So she gets something out. No, I can't remember what she gets out. We will find out. Meanwhile, the fellas with the gas masks, they're searching the school for whatever they're searching it for. Oh, it's a key. That's it. Yes, it's a key that was in his mouth, wasn't it? Let's just double check. I think it's a key. No, it ain't. I'm lying. It's a piece of wood. That's it. That's says hotel on it. It's Grand Hotel, but you just see the last bits. That's it. Yes, so that's a clue to where she's to go to next. It might have a key on it though. I'm not sure. Does it? Might not. Anyway, so there you go. She sees the chaps and she's hiding, and I see they've got a canary in a cage for some reason. But then I think we hear the siren going off. I think. Let's have a listen. Maybe not. Maybe in a minute, because it's all going to change again. We're going to go back into dark Silent Hill in a minute. There we go. The sirens are going off again. So it's all going to transform. It goes all dark, look. And then all the walls change. All the paint peels off the walls. And there we go. It's all going... It's all disintegrating and rotting, innit? Turning into the hellish dark part of Silent Hill. There we go. It is looks cool. But the janitor decides to come out of his cubicle. There he is. Coming out with all... And for some reason he's going and all that and crawling his way along. And as he touches the wall, all like fleshy, veiny tendrils come out. A bit like the red weed, how I imagine it is from War of the Worlds, that sort of thing. There you go, like that. But I think it's supposed to be like, capillaries with blood in and stuff like that. It's all gory, gruesome stuff. Anyway, there's my camera on. Because it just came up and said camera off then, didn't it? For some reason. But no, I'm still on. It's fine. Anyway, so she's like, so she goes running off. Then she see more bodies hung up. I think he's going to get eaten now. Loads of like these cockroach type creatures appear. We hear him screaming and stuff like that. She's screaming. Because they're getting got. And I'm not... Is this just somebody that were hung up, or is it the fellas that were in gas masks? I'm not entirely sure. But they're getting got by the cockroach creatures. Well, not cockroaches. They're pretty big. As we see later on, they've got actual faces. So anyway. So, she's running off. Obviously, everything's changed in the school now. The layout's still the same, but it all looks different. But she's got little clues here, I think, of where to go. This sigil or whatever it's called. Anyway, so there you go. She jumps over there. Then we get a glimpse of Alessa doing some colouring. Meanwhile, Christopher and Detective Gucci, they're in the school now. Because remember in the message that she'd left, she was going to the school. School, Silent Hill, all that stuff. So that's where they are. They're in the school. He's looking for her. They're like really close to each other, but in another dimension, if I can say it. Anyway, she fell over there. Anyway, she gets up and goes running off. And as we can see here, she's actually outside. Also in the courtyard of the school. But then here he comes. Pyramid Head's here, surrounded by the cockroach creatures. Or they call him in this film Red Pyramid. I've no idea why they call him that. It's Pyramid Head, isn't it? The Furling Dimension. Yes, because the Furlings are coming back in Star Trek Lower Decks. That's mid-2025. In the movie. Anyway. That's something else. So here he comes. Has he got somebody? Oh, he's got hold of somebody. So here he is, and there she is with her flashlight, being terrified, and now he's seen her. But meanwhile, Sean's giving it, Rose, Rose. That's how he says it, because his American accent's terrible, it's as bad as mine. Rose, Rose, where are you? And I think, is it this bit where he smells her? Because she runs down through where he is, because it shows like this, and then it shows Rose running from the pyramid head. Right, there we go. And she runs right through him. There we go. And he gets a whiff of her scent. So he knows, oh, she were here. I can smell her. So he knows she's either there or she's just been there. And he says it felt like she ran through me, which she did, but in another dimension. Anyway, there you go. She's freaking out. She don't know what to do. That'd be me. That'd be me after 5 minutes in Silent Hill. I'd just be a gibbering wreck on the floor, or dead. But anyway, here come the bugs. The bugs are coming to eat her. But luckily, there you go. We just saw her then, didn't we? There she is. Oh, that's a police person. Sybil's here to save her. She grabs hold of her and drags her out. And they shut themselves in like I don't know, something to do with the air conditioning or something. There's a big fan in this room. I think this is out of the game as well. I don't know if it's the first game or the second game. Can't remember. It might be the second game, because Pyramid Head isn't in Silent Hill 1, is he? But he's in Silent Hill 2. The games. Anyway, the bar the door with this big metal rod. And she's on there. She says, I'm on my last clip. Or magazine, or whatever she says. Anyway, so they're safe for the time being, but Pyramid Head's coming. He's going to stick his big sword. Here it comes. Going to stick his big sword through the door and jiggle it about, trying to get them. Look, and all the bugs are going to come in. Look, all the bugs are coming in to get them. Oh, I missed the bit where it showed the bug with the face. Hang on, let's show it in a minute. Hang on, where are we? Where is it? There we go. She drags her in there. There we go. There you go. So they've got little faces. Look at them. It's going screeching at her. Look, terrifying stuff, isn't it? And she squishes it with a boot. Anyway, right. So where were we? Pyramid Head sticks his sword in, so to speak, and jiggles it about. But I think it's trying to get in. Sticks his arm in. She shoots it, and we see her shooting his arm. And we think they're going to get got. But I think, time, they're lucky, because everything's going to turn back to normal now, because Pyramid Head just goes and he takes the bugs with him. And all the bugs that are there just start disintegrating. There you go. And everything goes back to normal, and everything repairs itself as it all goes back to the regular way it should look. The non-scary part of town. There you go. And they come outside and they say, what's going on? She's freaking out. She says, what the bloody hell's going on? I don't think he says it quite like that, but you know what I mean. There you go. She says, I've got to find my daughter. She's there in this hotel. So, right. So she's going to help her, is Sybil, because Sybil is the real hero of this film, in my opinion. She doesn't know these people, but she's a police officer, so I know it's a job, but she doesn't have to, does she? She could just say, sod this, I'm going. But no, she's going to help her, because she's a good person. Anyway, Gooch is taking Christopher back to his car, saying, no, just go now, we've had a look, we can't find it, we're going to keep looking, you go home and we'll let you know. Don't do anything stupid, basically, saying. But he's going to do something stupid in a bit, so anyway. And he's on the phone to, I don't know, directory inquiries or whatever, and he wants the address and stuff of, he wants information, he's phoning for information about where the records for Silent Hill are kept, and they're kept in, is it Toluca County or Braham's, the next town over, whatever, but they're not allowed to tell him over the phone, so he gets cross. And then he's going to go to the orphanage where they adopted Sharon from a bit later. But first he's going to break in to the information place, because they won't tell him. Meanwhile, back in Silent Hill, they're going to go to the hotel. We're going to see it in a minute. There it is. That's the Grand Hotel. Is it going to show us? There we go. The Grand Hotel. I'm guessing that's CG. Here they are. So they're going in, and they hear a noise, they hear a commotion from inside, somebody shouting and screaming. And this is where we're meeting, I think she's called Anna. It's either Anne or Anna. I think it's Anna. Yes, Anna. And she's shouting and throwing things at somebody, and I think calling her a witch as well. And she's throwing stones and bricks and whatever at Dahlia Gillespie. There she is. So they tell her to stop that. But Anna's, wary of these two strangers. Anyway, they're looking for her daughter. So they're going to go looking. But she's saying, no, we've got to get out of here soon, because the darkness is going to come. Oh, she notices that that sign again. You could say that's a sigil, couldn't you, I suppose? But anyway. All right, then Sybil notices, she sees some more of these bits of wood that, I'm just going to show it. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. That's where the bit of wood that Rose found in Colin's mouth, the janitor. We see him later, by the way, alive, Colin. We learn who Colin was and why maybe that happened to him. But anyway. Right, so this obviously that's where that bit of wood came from. So they know that whoever did that, or whoever's giving the clues of where to go, is in this hotel. So Sybil, I always think of Fawlty Towers. They say Sybil. Sybil. She opens up this cupboard here is where the keys are. She looks in, and for room 111, there's something in there, a message even, and it's another one of I don't know if it's Sharon's pictures or Alessa's pictures, but she's saying, right, we've got to go to room 111. Is it showing us what's on the picture? Can't remember. Is it going to show us? There we go. Somebody being burned at the stake by people with blue eyes. I don't know why they're showing people with blue eyes, but anyway. Rose. No, she's saying to Rose, look at this. So there we've got to go to room 111, but there is no room 111. Anyway, meanwhile, Christopher's staking out the expository. I'm guessing that's what that means. That's what that's going to say. Waiting for the last person that works there. How does he know? I don't know. Maybe the lights have gone off. And he's just going to go and break in at 7:30 at night. It must be winter, because it's dark, isn't it? So it must be winter. So he's going to break in and get the information he needs. There he's looking through the burned files. 'Cause remember, these are from Silent Hill, and the town burned down. Did I mention that? Because of the fire, underneath whenever it was, the fire in the mines beneath the town. The town caught fire as well, and loads of people died in the film. So there we go. So he's looking for that, and he finds information. There we go. Alessa Gillespie, filed by Gucci. So he's involved. So we're learning that he's found a kid, 3rd-degree burns. We see what happened later on. We do see what happened. Windgrace blames the Balrog. Could be, for all we know. Could be down there with is it during the 3rd? I can't remember. Leaping at it. Anyway, so we're seeing that. So we learn that Gucci's connected with Alessa Gillespie somehow. And there's a picture of her. It looks just like Sharon. That's what he said. Just like that. She looks just like Sharon. She looks like our Shaz. Right, so meanwhile, back in Silent Hill, they're looking for room 111, but there is no room 111. Can't find it. But there's a big picture on the wall. That goes to room 109 and then room 110 and no room 111. But there's a big painting on the wall at the end. And then it just jumps to room 113, look. There's no room 111. But luckily Rose is clever. And there you go, she sees, because remember the painting that they found showed somebody being burned at the stake. And there's a big painting of somebody being burned at the stake. So she thinks, this is a clue. So, she'd got a knife, by the way, Rose. Anna had a knife. So she said, I'm having that. So she uses the knife to cut open. There we go, the paint just cuts into the painting. And beyond it, there's a door. And that's the door for room 111. There we go. So in they go to room 111, and there's a big hole in the wall for some reason, leading to the next building. So they're going to go that way because they don't really bother looking through this room. They just jump through the hole. But anyway, and it's some sort of, I don't know, warehouse, factory, whatever. Don't know what it is. But she sees Alessa again, so she goes chasing after her, nearly falls to her death, and she comes across Alessa, and there she's teetering. There you go, nearly falls, and she finds Alessa. There she goes. She finds Alessa there, and Alessa turns round and says scary things to her, and sets herself on fire. There you go, like that, and so she's like, "Oh no, what's going on?" But she swings back on that piece of cord, or whatever, that pipe. They've got to get out of there because I think the siren's going off. I saw Alessa, but she set herself on fire. Whatever. So they've got to go, and they're chasing after because Anna knows where to go. They've got to head for the church, so they're chasing after the siren's going off again. They said, "Quick, he's coming," or whatever. They're running up the church, and there's loads of other people start coming. She sees the church, and then she recognises it from one of Sharon's scary paintings. Then all the other inhabitants, they're running up the stairs, and for some reason Dahlia Gillespie's there as well, and there she is. And Anna, for some reason, decides just to start throwing stones at her again. Anyway, so thus delaying them. But while all that's happening, she's talking to her. I saw Alessa. Alessa's your daughter, didn't she? And all that she's saying, that stuff. But and Anna's just going to start throwing stones at her. But then it gets dark, and then all the ground starts changing. Look, it's all going all peculiar. So they start running in, but it's too late because Anna just starts throwing stones again at Dahlia. It's her own fault. She shouldn't have done. She was just running the church, but no, she was too busy. And look, there you go. She's about to throw another, but Pyramid Head forms behind her and grabs hold of her. And there's a great death coming up. I'm going to have to be quickie because there might be some nudity and I can't remember. But we might get away with it. There you go. He's got hold of Anna, and he's basically just going to rip all her skin off in one go. He rips her clothes off, and then he grabs hold of it. Hang on. There we go. Just grabs hold of her skin, there you go, like that, and just rips it off, and then throws the skin at them. So and then it gets Rose right in her face. So she's the rest of the film. She's got poor Anna's blood all over her face. Anyway. So they're in the church, and they're safe in the church from Alessa, because Alessa can't get in the church because their prayers or whatever, their beliefs, for some reason stop Alessa from getting in. Even though they're evil people that are in here, but never mind. Their faith in what they believe is stopping her from getting in. And they're pointing at them saying, "Oh, the strangers, the witches and stuff like that." And they say, "Get off me, give over." Sybil fires a shot and says, "Behave yourselves." They're all, "The witches, burn them." And this, Alice Krieg's here, yeah. Only one with colourful clothes for some reason. All in greys, aren't they? But she's kind of colourful for some reason. Because that's Anna's mother. She's saying, "Where's my Anna?" They lured Anna to the creature, killed her, and but she says, Anna left. Anna went outside by herself. She's only herself to blame. Anyway, right. So they're going to pray now. I think they're going to go back out in a minute. I think when the siren goes and it's safe to go back out. There we go. They're going to go back out. Oh, we're getting an exposition dump. Are we? Or are we? What is this? I've got his bloody name now. Christopher. Is this Christopher going to the orphanage? I think it is. I'll be seeing the nun who runs it, putting the young orphans to bed. Here he is. Look, Christopher's gone to the orphanage. And he wants to know all about Alessa, but she won't tell him, so he grabs hold of her. But luckily Gucci arrives. So he's like, "Tell me!" But Gucci arrives and says, "You're in trouble, Christopher, breaking and entering into that other place, and now assault, it seems." But so he's going to, take him away. He says, just stop it, just leave it be, man, leave it be. But so he's going to take him back to his car and say, stop investigating this. It'll cause trouble. It's where we're learning about, their faith keeps them safe from the darkness and all that stuff, their belief in God, blah, blah, blah. But he says, "I've got to find my daughter." So they agree, they say, right, why did she decide to help her? I can't remember. But they say they're going to help her. Because she wants to see the demon or something like that. I think it's the demon. And that lives under the hotel. Is it the hotel, the school? I think it's the hotel. The demon that exists underneath Silent Hill, I think under the hotel. So they're going to basically take her there. And then they say, whatever happens to you after that, we'll show you where it is, but, you're on your own. Why she finds that's the locket that that's what's the faces Rose's, the picture of Sharon in it. She finds that on the floor. She must have dropped it. Was Sharon? The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Johnny Depp's not in this. Yeah, she finds that, but she doesn't open it yet. But she just picked it up anyway. So they go to the there go the heading out. Look. They're going to go to I think it's the hotel. Or is it the school? Or is it the hospital? I don't know. No, is that the school? I don't know where the hell they're going. I can't remember. Does it say? Hang on, just let me check. I can't remember where the bloody go. I thought it was the hotel, but that wasn't the hotel, was it? Just bear with me. Right. By the way, the cult that Christabella, Alice Krieg, is in charge of, called the Manichean cult. I don't know if it ever says that in the film, but anyway. Right, where were we? We learned earlier on, Gucci told Christopher that he used to live in Silent Hill, and that he saved Alessa from the fire. And we're going to get a video of that, a flashback of that later on. It's a hospital. It's a hospital. I thought it was the hotel they were going back to. It's the hospital. That's where they're going. Right, so here we go. They've got to open up. She says, memorise. This is from the game as well. Memorise this map. And she says the demon is below this room, and she tells there B151. And she says, memorise this map, the lefts and rights and stuff like that. So she does. That's just like in the game, you've got to try and remember. In the game, you get the maps for each level of wherever you are. You've got to try and remember how to get to certain rooms that have stuff in. Anyway, so she's got to remember that. Anyway, so the chaps that are with them, they're opening up this elevator. And so they're doing that while she's memorising that. And there you go, they get it open. And then just before they set off, she gives her the locket back, and then it must just spring open. There you go, just to show that Sharon is Alessa, and they're terrified of Alessa because Alessa is their demon, essentially. So they say, the witches! Kill them! Kill them! Anyway, so Rose ends up, she ends up in the elevator, and Sybil's gonna save her. Like, she's holding the rest, she's holding them off, and she says, "Go find your daughter," and she sends Rose down, and the others basically, she's run out of bullets now as Sybil, so they just beat the crap out of her, but they don't kill her, not yet. There you go. They're going to beat the crap out of her with metal pipes and stuff. But Rose is heading down in the elevator. There it goes, a long way down. There you go. Beat the tar out of her. Anyway, right. Rose is at the bottom. So she's looking for. Remember, she's looking for Alessa, the demon. And we're going to come across the nurses in a minute. Sorry, it's a bit pervy smile there. There they are. Here are the nurses. And in this film, I can't remember what they're like in the game. There were variations on the nurses in the games. Some of them were like this, I think, in the later games, but earlier on they were different. But in this one, light makes them come to life and start moving. But in the next film, which we're going to get to later, we're going to be here a while, aren't we? It's sound, but these are obviously different nurses. But they're all very shapely. So there we go. So they start moving about. She shines the flashlight on them. By the way, they're all dancers. Apparently, glamour dancers. According to the director of the second film, he says in the first film they used glamour dancers. Does that mean the strippers? Or whatever, or exotic dancers. But there they are. And by the way, the dresses that they're wearing, they're the fellow that designed them, I can't remember, the costume designer. Basically, they had a mould of a generic lady, and he moulded the dress essentially round. So they're supposed to look like rotting flesh and stuff like that, and then basically just made one dress like in like stretchy vinyl or whatever. So they're all wearing the same size dress no matter what size they are. So that might explain why some of them are a bit, cleavagey. Anyway, so here we go. So anyway, she realises this, and she turns the flashlight off and tries to sneak away past, but obviously they're listening as well. I think in the early games they were called bubblehead nurses. I don't know what they're called in later games. Or what they're called in this, I can't remember. But I think they're called dark nurses in this. Anyway, the can hear her as well, because when they hear, when she makes a noise, they lash out, but obviously can't see her. And they end up cutting their own, they go cutting the throats of the other nurses. But anyway, she gets through the door. There's a door at the other end, and there we go. Bright light. This way we're going to get a big exposition dump, because we're going to hear the voice of Alessa. She's going to tell her all about it. So here we go, because we know it's an exposition dump because it's gone to the old film stuff. And we're seeing young Alessa being picked on by her schoolmates, and the suggestion that Colin the janitor also abused her. Here he is. I'm going to see it in a minute. There you go, Colin. So that's probably why he was the way he was in later on with the barbed wire. That was his punishment. And there's her mother, Dahlia Gillespie, saying he'll be all right. She's trying to protect her. But Dahlia is the sister of Christabella. And Christabella's saying, why won't you just tell her who the father is? So we don't know who the father is. Maybe it's Palpatine, I don't know. But they decide, because she's the product of sin, so they're going to get rid of her. And it's like, I don't know, it's that the elite of Silent Hill. They arrive at the Grand Hotel in their big cars and masks and stuff. and they take Alessa in there, into room 111, and they basically just burn her alive, because she's a product of sin. There we go. She's going to get rid of this, burn it, to get rid of this, absolve the sin. But it all goes wrong, and she starts a fire. The coals get knocked over, and starts a fire. And I don't know if this is connected with the fire down below or what. I don't know, but or this is just a coincidence. It just happened to happen at the same time. I've no idea, but I'm thinking Alessa, in her rage, maybe started the fire underneath Silent Hill. I don't know, but anyway, what they've done to her, she's basically been burnt. There she is. All the cops, by the way, come running in because Dahlia went to get help, and the cops come in. Gucci and all them come in. All the other people, or most of the other people, have been burned. But they come running in. They find Alessa. All, like I said, she got really severe burns. They get her to hospital. And we see this nurse who's supposed to be looking after her, but she's there. She is. We see her again in a minute. She's supposed to be the template, I suppose, for the dark nurses that we've just seen. But we also see her again shortly, and obviously because of what's happened to Alessa, somehow some psychic things happened. I don't know. It's a horror film game. She can affect the town, so she's making plants die and stuff like that. And the nurse gets curious, and she looks through the peephole, and so she gets punished for that. We see what happens to her later, and then Alessa, not Alessa, but the demon comes in and says, and that's when I enter the story from stage right. So she essentially gives Alessa the powers to do what she wants to do, for her, her vengeance and all that. She's just feeling rage, so off they go. That's when they turn Silent Hill into Silent Hill. Right. So there we go. So that's that exposition done, and then we see the nurse there. She's pootling about doing stuff, but we don't see her face. But we see Alessa. Alessa's in there, by the way. There we can just see her in there, all burnt and in pain and angry at the people that did this to her. So anyway, the demon appears and says, I can't get into the church. Basically she wants revenge on Christabella and the others from that cult, but she can't get into the church because of their faith. So what she's going to do, essentially she's going to go inside Rose. That's what's going to happen. Oh, well, we've seen some more, another bit of a flashback. Because what happened, Alessa put the good part of her, it doesn't really explain it in this, it kind of explains it a bit more in the next film, but she puts the good part of Alessa into a newborn child that just happens to look exactly like Alessa. And then they take that child to the orphanage, and that's where Sharon comes from. So she's the good half of Alessa, and the half that's in Silent Hill is just filled with rage and wants vengeance. Essentially, he's a vengeance demon, like what's her face from Buffy, Anya. Anyway, so there we go. That's showing that. That's where she said, I can't get into the church, so she hugs on them. She says, tell me what to do. So she says, right. That's what she's saying there, tell me what to do. So she goes and hugs her, and I actually like this effect. Cause it's kind of subtle, because there you go, she hugs her, but she kind of just merges into her. And it's really subtly done. I don't know, it's one of these weird effects that, I don't know, there you go, it's just done. And, it's not flashy or anything like that. She just goes into her. So now she's got the demon within, and this is where we get to see the nurse. What's happened to the nurse? There we go. We've got a glimpse of her face there. There she is. So she shouldn't have peeked, should she? But she was curious. Poor nurse. I think she's got a name in the game, and I can't remember what it is. But anyway, Right, so she's going to head to the church. Meanwhile, what's happening here? I can't remember. Yes, we're going to catch up with Sharon now, finally. Sharon's been hiding out in wherever she is. I think she might be in the hotel, I don't know. She's been sleeping under probably this mangy old blanket and whatever. But then she hears the fellas are here in their gas masks looking for her. They find her, and there we go. Dahlia Gillespie's there saying, "You can't have her, she's mine." But then there you go. Christabella's there, and yeah, so they've got Sharon now. He's taking Christopher to the city limits. No, bugger off! Don't come back. There you go. Right, so off he goes back home. Right, so we're back in the church, and they're setting up the fire and stuff, and they're going to burn Alessa again. And they've also got Sybil up on another one of the. They've got two ladders. Look, one's going to have Alessa on, and the other one there we've got Sybil. That's it's not looking well, is she? Sybil, beating the tar out of her. There she is, and she's still saying to Sharon, says, "It's okay, Sharon, don't worry. Your mum's coming to save you." And they say, "Oh, no, she's a witch." And this is the thing that I think was inspired by Witchfinder General, because there's a scene in that where they use a big ladder and they lower the witch over the fire. And I think that's the only time I've seen in that and this. I don't think I've seen it in another Bernie Witch film, whoever Bernie Witch is. Ladder match, yes, but no tables and chairs. Anyway, so they burn Sybil. There we go. They start the fire and they burn Sybil. It's pretty horrific, to be completely honest. But you know, she goes out like a champ. She doesn't scream or anything like that. She just goes, catches on fire, and that's it. That's the end of Sybil. Oh dear. There she is. Well done. Now they're tying Sharon to the other one. They're going to burn her as well. But Mum's arrived. Here she is. Rose has arrived with a big witch's hat hovering over her head. I've just noticed that. Is that deliberate? It makes it look like a big witch's hat just hovering over her head. Don't know. But anyway, she arrives and she's telling them, she's lying to you, Christabella. It's all a big lie. You're the sinners, and you're paying for what you did to Alessa. And they keep hitting her. They just come up and punch her in the face and stuff like that, because they're all mental people. There you go. There was no apocalypse. There we go. You burned in the fire that you started. And they keep punching her and all that, because they're evil people. And then she confronts Christabella, who just pulls out a knife and stabs her. She just stabs. There you go. Stabs Rose right in the chest with a knife. He says, "Look, she's brought the evil into the church," because the blood starts coming out into this thing here. Yeah, we're going to see like acid blood or whatever. There we go. Oh, look. And while she's giving it all, got to burn the witches, got to get the sin out and all that stuff, trying to make out that they're doing the Lord's work, but they're not. But then there you go. This is where she's brought the demon in. She's got past their defences. So all this middle bit all opens up. There you go. And now the demon is coming. Or Alessa's coming and the demon. Are they one of the same? I'm not sure about it. But anyway. They're coming. Alessa and the demon. Does the demon have a name? I have no idea. Does it say in the synopsis? Alessa emerges. It's just Dark Alessa. Just call it Dark Alessa. Is the demon. There we go. Yeah, right. By the way, in 1974, when Alessa was burned, and Gucci found her and all that. Anyway, right. So anyway, like I said, the demon's coming and all what do you call it? Barbed wire starts coming up, rising up out of this hole, and they're gonna get got, aren't they? So here it comes. Here comes all the barbed wire. There's Alessa in her bed. So all the bad guys are gonna get got by the barbed wire. It's a bit like a barbed wire version. It's a barbed wire match. ECW. No, it's a bit like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they open up the Ark and all the angels, whatever they are, come out and start getting all the bad guys. It's a bit like that, but with barbed wire instead of angels. I think they're supposed to be angels, weren't they? Or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, so here we go. It's all coming out and getting all the bad guys. There we go. Picking up Christabel and basically just rip her apart in a minute. Here comes the demon, look, climbing up. Dark Alessa. And there she goes. Just going to rip her apart in a minute. Here it goes. You ready? You ready for a nice bit of gore, YouTube? They're going to do it. Have I gone past it? Oh no, here we go. There we go. Ripped her in half. Yay! That's what my son would say. Here. He would go, yay! Don't like her. I'm glad she's dead. Aidan, don't talk like that. Well, I am. Right, so she gets Rose goes and gets Sharon off the ladder, and but this fella arrives, and so she just deals with him. Oh, he gets got by the barbed wire and destroyed. She gets more blood sprayed on her. She gets more blood sprayed on her than Veronica Cartwright in Alien. Anyway, there's Alessa, looking very smug. I don't think that's Jodelle Ferland, is it? I don't think so, because she looks very buxom in that shot, doesn't she? Sorry, she just does. But anyway, all the others are trying to run out, but they're not going to get very far. The barbed wire will get them, and then, but it doesn't get Dahlia, obviously, for obvious reasons. But then here comes Dark Alessa, and Rose says, "Don't look, honey." Bit like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Says, "Don't look, keep your eyes closed." But she can't help but peek. She does peek. It's just a bad dream now, but she peeks and has a look at Dark Alessa smiling at her. There we go. So has a bit of Dark Alessa gone into Sharon? Dunno. Anyway, right. Daytime comes. It's all calm. Just Dahlia left. She says, "Why didn't you kill me?" He says, "'Cause you're a mother. And to a child, a mother is God." So there we go. So, right, they get back to the car. And this time the car starts. And they drive off back home. Quote. It's the drive off. They get to the... it's going to show it here. They get to the... there it is. The precipice. And she just continues driving. So that's a drive of faith, isn't it? It's just... I'm going for it. She probably thought. Anyway, so there you go. The road reappears. Look, as she drives back. Then we cut to Christopher in the house. I'm guessing they're a rich family, by the way, because it's a very rich person-looking house, isn't it? She's on the phone and she's leaving a message saying, "I'm coming home," and but he can't hear it because it's all. But so. Past the Braham's State gas station, but notice it's still misty for some reason. Anyway, they arrive back home and it's still misty and foggy. I wonder why. Anyway, they go in the house, it's even bloody misty in the bloody house, for crying out loud. But not for Christopher. He's there asleep on the couch. And she sits down and looks at him, covered in blood. And then she looks at him, and then he wakes up. And he's like, "Rose? Rose? Hey up, Rose, where are you?" He might as well just talk like that. And he looks out, and there's nobody there. And then the film ends. So she's still in the Silent Hill universe. Even though she's not in Silent Hill. She's like in a parallel dimension, isn't she? In the same place, but unseen. Out of phase, I suppose you could say. Because that's the end of that film. The first Silent Hill film, which is really good. I really like that film. I like both of them, but I think the first one's a bit better than the second one. But there we go. So, yes, but the story does continue. Yes, she's in the Upside Down, says Win Grace. Sort of. But we don't need to use Christmas lights to talk to her. What does that say? It says we. No, it don't. It says no. It's just reversed, isn't it? It's that handprint but reversed. It says witch, but it's in reverse spelling for some reason. But they've just mirrored the image, haven't you? And hope nobody had noticed until I came along. Anyway, whatever. So there we go. So that's the end. Steady on. That's the end of Silent Hill 1. It was followed 6 years later. By the way, it's really. That's it. Give them a chance. I think this is one of the better game to movie adaptations. They tend to do them better now anyway, don't they, these days? But back then, they were a rarity, were a good game to movie adaptation. I think the only other one that were decent were the Tomb Raider, well, particularly the first one, the first Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. But then this came along, and this were a good one. This, not really faithful to the game, but it was in the spirit of the game, wasn't it? And I think he says that in the making of documentary, does Christoph Gans. He says, they're not remaking the game or adapting the game, but they're making a film in the spirit of the game, which is what they've done in it. Because they've changed the characters and stuff like that. So they've taken Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 2 and used monsters and stuff like that and situations from that and made it into a pretty good film. Also used the Centralia, Pennsylvania story as well and wove that into it as well. So it's worth a look, but I don't know where it is on. I don't think it's on like Amazon Prime or anything like that. No, I don't know. Unless it's on Shudder. I don't know, but it's worth a watch. Anyway, right, so there we go. Right, so moving on to Silent Hill Revelation. Excuse me, sorry. Let me get rid of some tabs here now. I can get rid of some tabs. Right. Moving on to Silent Hill Revelation, which came out in 2012, which is essentially, and it filmed and released in 3D. It was filmed with 3D cameras. It wasn't a 3D upgrade, or whatever you want to call it. It was actually filmed in 3D. But anyway, written and directed by M.J. Bassett, Michael J. Bassett, but she's not called that anymore because in 2017, Bassett, the director, came out as trans and is now a she. So I don't know what the first name is now. I don't know. Hang on, let me check. They're born Michael J. Bassett. What does the M stand for now? I have no idea. It doesn't say. Just M.J. Bassett. Maybe the M.J. like what's the face from Spider-Man. Anyway, done some decent films. I said Solomon Kane. That film with what's her face in. Megan Fox, Rogue, and she's doing the upcoming Red Sonja films. There we go. And also, I watched it with I watched the DVD earlier on with the director's commentary on it, and it's actually one of the better director's commentaries I've listened to. Really, interesting tidbits about the making of the film, and not afraid to point out when they made mistakes. I would have thought, that doesn't look good, does it? And we did this. He didn't really at the time, or he didn't really want to do it in 3D, but the studio insisted. So he said, "Well, if we're doing it in 3D, we're not doing a 3D upscale, upgrade, whatever you call it, conversion. We're going to film it in 3D." So they've got like 3D cameras and all that. And they said they used Red MX cameras. And they didn't know how to use them. And they kept getting in touch with Red, the company, and they wouldn't help them. They said if it had been James Cameron or somebody like that, they'd have been all over him. But because we're just making this little film, they didn't want to know. But anyway, they've fathomed it out. presented in glorious third dimension, which will be obvious in some of the shots that we're going to see. Anyway, let me just get that ready. Right. So, Silent Hill 3, where were we? As I said, written and directed by M.J. Bassett, or at the time Michael J. Bassett. I was as surprised as you were when I came across because I was looking him up because I didn't know he were a she now, and just came up saying, "Oh, she directed this." I thought, "Hey, it sounds like a man in the commentary." But anyway. Right, so starring Adelaide Clemens, Kit Harington, Deborah Cara Unger returns as Dahlia Gillespie, Martin Donovan, Malcolm McDowell, and I bet he were there just for the day. I bet that was one day shooting. He's not in it much. Carrie Ann Moss and Sean Bean, and I bet them three, and Deborah Cara Unger, I bet they weren't there very long. But they're in it. And essentially, it's an adaptation of Silent Hill 3. As I said, the first film kind of brought elements from the first two games. This is pretty much an adaptation of Silent Hill 3, which I've not played, but my son has. So there we go. It's also Radha Mitchell appears in it briefly as well. Right, so budget of $20 million, so it didn't have as big a budget as the first film, and it box office was, I don't know, about $56 million, so let's say didn't do amazingly well, but I like it. I think it's a decent flick. Right, anyway, so we'll get on with it. It's all titch tiny again, and we'll get this baby going. It's not as long as the first film. The first, I was surprised, it's 2 hours long, 2 hours and 6 minutes, something like that is the first film. I was like, bloody hell, I thought it was going to be like an hour and a half. Luckily, this one is an hour and a half, 95 minutes. Right, so off we go. We shall begin with Silent Hill Revelation. Off it goes. Right, here we go. Sod all that. Movie Max. Lionsgate. There we go. Davis Films. Go on, get on with it. There we go. Silent Hill Revelation. Right, we begin. I forgot what happened. I've only just bloody watched it and I forgot what happened. I've watched it twice today and I've forgotten already. We open up with a dream sequence, although we don't know it's a dream sequence at that time, but anyway, we do. I like the calf length boots, don't they, in this series of films. There we go. This is Heather Mason, who we learn is somebody else later. But anyway, she's running for her life, being followed by these weird people, and she's in some sort of fun fair. Then she's hiding from them, and then we see the rabbit. They call it Robbie Rabbit. I don't know what it was called in the game. I don't even know if it had a name in the game. But in the game, I remember watching my son play it. You see this rabbit at various times, but it never moves. It's just there, and you're thinking it's going to move, and it never does. But in this, it does. In this, it moves only in this dream sequence. She's looking at it, and it turns around and looks at her in a minute. For God's sake, it does anyway. There we go. It looks at her like that, but in the game, it never moves. I don't think it moves again in this. Anyway, so that looks like so. She goes running off, and she ends up on a carousel or what do we call them? A merry-go-round or roundabout, whatever you want to call it. And it's being operated by Pyramid Head. There he is. Remember him from the first film, with hooks through his nipples. Anyway, he's operating the carousel, we'll call it. He's operating that, and spoilers again. He's kind of I don't know. I can't say he's a goodie in this film, but we'll get to it. He kind of fights for Heather later on. For reasons. Anyway, so she's on the carousel and it's going round, and she sees hang on, have I missed a bit? She sees these men that are chained up. They're supposed to be like the horses, and they're all going and screaming and stuff like that. We never see him again. It doesn't explain what's happened to him. But anyway, then she sees, there we go, she sees Darker Lesser, who's all grown up now. So I don't know why they didn't, maybe she wasn't available. I don't know why they didn't get Jodelle Furland in. Because she'd have been about the age that she is. Because she's supposed to be 18, or just under 18. Her 18th birthday's coming up. So Jodelle Furland probably about that age then, wasn't she? Let's look her up. Jodelle Furland. Born in 1994, so 1994. Yeah, so she'd have been 18, wouldn't she? This came out in 2012, so 94, 04. Yeah, she'd been 18, so she's just the right age. Maybe she wasn't available. Because he did mention in the commentary, Michael Bassett, the director, that they did have to juggle the scenes around quite a bit, because he did say some of the actors weren't available, or they had limited availability. So they did have to juggle stuff about, and it was a bit of a headache for them at times. But anyway, so maybe they couldn't fit her in or whatever, so they just decided just to go with, I forgot her name already. Adelaide Clemens. Again, another Australian actress. Radha Mitchell's Australian, and Adelaide Clemens is Australian as well. Why they keep with their Australians? I don't know. And British leading men as well. Anyway, this is You Cannot Defeat Me. Then all flames come round, and there you go. And she ends up on fire. According to the director, this was the single most expensive shot in the film. Don't know how much it cost, but she burns up. Look, and then she wakes up screaming, it were all a dream. And Sean Bean comes running in. And they say, no, it's okay, honey, it was just a dream. And he says, this place will be fine, we'll get a lick of paint and it'll be cool. And then he steps up, and then, oh no, he's been stabbed by the missionary, which is what this is called. It's like something from Hellraiser, doesn't it? But it's the missionary, which is, I think it's from the games, or maybe, Silent Hill 3, I'm not sure. But I think it was a male creature in that. But in this film, they made it a female creature, for reasons at the end. But then she wakes up again, so it was a double dream, a bit like American Wilf in London, when he has that dream within a dream, doesn't he? That she had that. So anyway, so she's woke up. She has actually woke up now. So this is where we learn that it's obviously this is Sharon and Christopher from the first film, and like I said, years have passed, and she's grown up. She's nearly 18, but we learn that they move around a lot because the Brotherhood, or the cult or whatever from Silent Hill, are after them. They want her basically, and they're after them. So they keep moving around and changing the names. So now she's called Heather. She's not Sharon. She's Heather Mason, and he's Harry Mason, which I think is from one of the other Silent Hill games. I can't remember. It might be Silent Hill 3. I can't remember. Let me just check. Harry Mason. Just bear with me. I think it was Sullivan. Well, Harry Mason in the first one. Yes, I think Harry Mason in the first one. Oh, and he's in Silent Hill 3. In a cameo. But yeah, I think Harry Mason was from the first game. But I think in the second game it was Sullivan, wasn't it? I can't remember the bloody name. Let me check. I think it was Sullivan. Yeah, James. Oh, Sunderland. That's it, Sunderland. In the second game. But anyway, whatever. It's Harry Mason now. He's given her Pop-Tarts for a breakfast because she's going to school. Her first day at school in a new town. Don't know what town it is. But it's got a creepy name for its school, which we'll see in a bit. So anyway, and he gives her, she's saying, why do I have to keep changing his names, but whatever. But then he gives her a present. There you go. It says, your birthday's coming up, here's your present. And she looks, and it's the, how's it going to show us? There we go. It's the top that she had on in her dream. Noisy Berm. Don't know. Again, I've said something, haven't I? And I've forgotten. It's the top that, what they call it? It's like a wind, what they call them? A body warmer, we call them. But waistcoat, he says in the director's commentary. She had that on in her dream, and he says, "Well, I saw you looking at it in the shops or whatever, in the mall." And she's obviously looking at it because she keeps dreaming about it, and now she's got it. So we learn that dream is going to be a premonition, and we're going to get to it later on in the film. Anyways, right, so she's going to go off to school, and there we go. And we're gonna learn what happened, why she's there. Remember, at the end of the last film, her and her mother were still in the Silent Hill universe, weren't they? We're gonna learn what happened. Right, and she does look a lot like the character in the game, I must admit. She does look a lot like the character. Right, so, alright, when she's gone, Harry gets this box out. I don't know where he's got it from, but it's got all runes and stuff on it. But it's got all these knickknacks in, look, all this stuff. And then he looks in this mirror. We get a photo of Rada Mitchell, and I don't know if that's Jodelle Ferland or if it's the actress that got to replace her, I don't know. But looks in the mirror, and then she appears in a little cameo as Rada Mitchell. She hasn't changed in 6 years, and they've even put the little... Unless she's got that all the time. I don't know. I thought that was where she hurt herself when she crashed the car. Maybe that's just part of it, I don't know. Anyway, I've never liked clothes so much. I dream about them. It's girls, isn't it? Girls. Anyway, so I think this is a flashback, presumably to just after the first film, and she tells. She needs that top lip waxing, don't you? Anyway, she tells Christopher at the time that she can get Sharon out of Silent. He says, "I'm trapped here," but she's found a way to get Sharon out. But you know, they'll be looking for you, and you've got to go on the run. Basically, so that's what's going to happen. So she says that, and he says, "Rose, I love you." And then he turns round, and she's there. Where's our daughter? They'll come looking for her, and then he looks round, and she's there on the couch. There she is. And well, I must admit, when I first saw it, I thought, "Oh, they've got Jodelle Ferland back in," forgetting that this was like 6 years after, and she was essentially an adult now. But it isn't. It's another actress that does look a lot like her. There we go. Oh, in the commentary, the director was like saying, "Go on, Sean, leave the wig alone," because she's wearing a wig. And he says every time he grabs her hair, he's keep moving the wig a little bit. But anyway, and they only had him for 7 to 10 days. So as I said, I think the big stars in this film didn't have for very long, so they probably had to shuffle the shoot around, didn't they? So he did all his scenes in a week, and I bet Malcolm McDowell was just there for a day, and Carrie-Anne Moss probably not there for very long either. Anyway, this is how she's got out. She's got this, the seal of Metatron, which I think is from the game. I think that is in the game. That's how she's got out. Right, so we're here in... Where was this filmed? I can't remember. It was filmed in Canada again, but in a different place. Cambridge, Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. Where else? Toronto. I think it's all Toronto, pretty much. Yeah. Yep, pretty much all Toronto. You know, I'd love to go to Canada. I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to go to Canada, particularly British Columbia. I don't know why. I've always wanted to go there. I know I never will, but anyway. Right, so here we are in Toronto somewhere, and apparently that truck or trailer, whatever it is there, it is a truck, you can see the cab there, wouldn't move it. Says it's not supposed to be in the film, but the fella that drove it wouldn't move it. He said, I've got a job to do here. I'm not moving my truck. So I said, fair enough. It's going to be in the film then. Whatever. Right, so she's coming round to the school bus. Is Heather. Because everything you've ever watched is filmed there. I don't know. Well, maybe now, but back when I was a kid, it wasn't it? I think the only thing I knew from Canada when I was a kid was the New Avengers in Canada. The New Avengers, one with it had John Steed and Purdy and can't remember the name of the other character. It was what's his face? I forgot the name of the actor as well. Gareth Hunt as the other character. I can't remember the other one. Joanna Lumley as Purdy. Anyway, they did, I don't know, a season or two as the New Avengers, and then there must have been some production thing where they went to Canada, and they had a series called New Avengers in Canada. That's the only thing I can think of that were filmed in Canada when I was a kid. But anyway, not like now. Yeah, everything's filmed in Canada, isn't it? Anyway, where were we? Right, so she's heading round to the school bus and she sees a bum. There he is. Oh, I think looks just like Stanley Kubrick. She sees him there and he gets up. Look, sticks some glasses on him. It's just like Stanley Kubrick, isn't he? But anyway, his face changes. There we go, into a monster. And it was just an extra. So they got this actor in, or this extra in to play this you know, what's the word? Person living on the street. And they couldn't find somebody else who looked a bit like him. So they said, well, okay, we'll film your scene as yourself, as the bum. And then we're going to stick all this stuff on your face and just do it again, okay? And it says, I felt quite sorry for him, the director. But anyway, he did his job, he was fine. So then she freaks out a bit, and then she looks again in his farm. She nearly gets run over, and then he was fine again. Stanley Kubrick with grey hair, and then she comes across this fella who is played by. I've seen him in loads of stuff, and I can't bloody remember. Martin Donovan. I don't know what else I've seen him in, but he's got those faces that you think I've seen him in other things. Pardon me, let's have a look. What have I seen him in? It's probably going to be nothing, isn't it? He was in Tenet, but I've not seen that. Let's keep going. He's been in loads of stuff. He's probably seen him in... I bet he's been in Stargate. You know what? He might have been. I'm looking. Lots of TV. Yeah, lots of TV. I want to see. I want to know now if he's been in Stargate. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. Because we're back to the 90s now. I don't know what I've seen him in. I've seen him in something, though, because he's been in lots of stuff. But anyway, whatever. Right, where were we? It's that Mac from Columbo. Oh, he's that Mac from Columbo. Could be because he is he's a private detective, a private investigator in this, from the games, called Douglas something or other. Hang on. Douglas Cartland, who is in the game. I think I might have started. I've either started playing this game once. I think I did start playing it, but I don't think I finished it. Because I do remember his character. And it's, this film was pretty much, it's a good adaptation of the game, at least early on. Anyway, there we go. He says, do I know you? And she says, no, don't. He asks her name. He says, I'm late for my bus. So off she goes to go to school. Right, she's in class now. And saying, we've got new... And it's just after Christmas, because the teacher says, welcome back after your Christmas break. Got 2 new classmates, and we've got Heather Mason introduce yourself and tell us something about yourself. And she's obviously the bitch of the class because she says, tell us why you get all your clothes from Goodwill. Because, the hideous people. He says, yeah, whatever. I don't want to know any of you. I move around a lot. I'll be gone soon, so, you don't want to know me. So there. Bleh. And then the other new member of class is Victor something or other. Not Victor. Vincent Cooper, who's Kit Harington. Hang on, where are we? There he is. Kit Harington as Vincent Cooper, and he says, well, whatever. I can't beat what she just said. And he'd just been cast, by the way, as in the role for Game of Thrones. He'd just been cast in Game of Thrones before he did this. But he squeezed this film in. Right, so Heather is in the hallway, wondering where to go for her next class. All the other students, disappear to their rooms, and she's all alone. And then weird things start happening. She looks through a classroom, and there's kids chanting "witch, witch" at somebody. This is obviously Alessa Gillespie being bullied. She's seeing that, and then she looks into this other class, and then just kids staring at her. Apart from this little lass who looks over to her left for some reason. I'm going to see it. Oh, I just went past. Just missed it. She does. Oh, there you go. He looks over to her left. Obviously, maybe her mum's over there. I don't know. The director said, she just glanced over there and just spoilt the whole thing, but they didn't do it again. Anyway, and then suddenly all the corridor changes, everything changes. There you go. It goes all Silent Hilly, and she sees the armless man appear. Here he comes. By the way, the creature effects, I think for both films, particularly the first one, were done by Patrick Tatopoulos, who's done loads of stuff, Godzilla and other things. Stargate, he did Stargate, the movie. And he did some stuff in this, but I think they had another chap who created the practical effects. But I think Patrick Tatopoulos helped design some of them. Anyway, she sees that, and then suddenly it's all back to normal again. He's brought her back to reality. Notice the poster behind's got a butterfly, a girl with a butterfly on her mouth. And in the classroom earlier, there were all posters on the wall with butterflies, and that's supposed to represent the metamorphosis that's going to happen later on in the film. Right, so he says, I'm lost, I don't know where to go, do you know where math is? I said, no, I know where maths is, I don't know where math is. So they're both lost, anyway, so they carry on their day. Anyway, at the end of the day, she comes out of school, or maybe it's lunchtime, or whatever, I don't know, but she comes out of school, and we see the name of it is All Hallows High School. Bit creepy, isn't it? But I don't know the name of the town. Does it say? No, I don't say what town they're in. I think in the game, they're in Silent Hill. I'm sure they are. But they're not in Silent Hill here. They're quite away from it. I don't know where they're supposed to be. But anyway. But the school has got All Hallows High School. Anyway, she sees Douglas, I forgot his name already, Cartland again. Yes, hallowed are the Ori. Indeed. She sees him again, and so she thinks he's following her, which he is. So she goes and she phones her dad. He answers the phone. Says, I think somebody's following me. And says, time for us to move on. He says, don't come back here then, we'll meet, at where we agreed, so at the mall. I'll meet you by the burger place in the mall. So he says, okay. But then bad guys appear. They were going to get him. Right, so she's gone to the mall to meet her dad. Because they got him after he said goodbye. Oh, dear. Right, where were we? So here goes. So she's sitting waiting by the burger place, and there's a kid's having a birthday party. She sees the balloons. There you go. It says "Happy Birthday, Heather" on the cake, and he's looking at the balloons. He's going to show them, for Christ's sake. There we go. Happy Birthday, Heather. And as it rotates, it says, and turns to different colours. Says Happy Birthday, Alessa. Dun, dun, dun. And then all the kids change, look to monstrous kids. Is this all in her mind, or I'm guessing it is, or is she having some? She's having a Silent Hill style vision. Don't know, but like I said, they're all eating meat, and there's all blood and stuff like that, and all the kids are eating bloody burgers and stuff. There we go. And the director was saying they give them what they give them in the burgers were just like I forgot what he said now. Vegetables. I can't remember what vegetables. I don't know, bits of carrot, beetroot. That was it. Stuff like beetroot and stuff that had a lot of red in it, and they just coloured it even more with red food colouring, and the kids wouldn't eat it. But anyway, so they're eating all that, and then he's arrived as Douglas, and then there's a scary clown because clowns are scary. Anyway, he goes to security, says "Excuse me," and then he turns round, and he's got a scary face. Oh no, all sewn up. Anyway, so she runs off into a staff-only door, through a staff-only door. She's in some sort of abattoir because she sees a man being skinned alive. It's all scary by a man that's had has had some sort of what do they call it? Thingamabob. I think I've had one. That. And he's skinning this alive person and then giving the meat over to the chef, who is supposed to be then cooking the burgers that the kids are eating outside. But if it's all an illusion or on their head, I don't know. What does it matter? I don't know. Or is it really happening in another Silent Hill type hell dimension, and she's just seeing it? I don't know. Anyway, so she runs off. She's trying to phone her dad, but he's not answering, obviously, because he's not there now. He's being got. So she goes down into the basement, and then she comes across him. He says, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm Douglas Cartland. I'm a private investigator. I've been hired to find you because apparently Harry Mason killed somebody the last time the Brotherhood encountered him. He accidentally killed one of them, and that's why they went on the run. But he's found out who's hired, and now he's on her side. He says, "You've got to get out of here. They've found you." So she goes running off. She gets to the elevator there behind her, and she says, "I'm going," and whatever. But then I forgot to call it again. The missionary appears. There we go. Chops his fingers off in 3D. There you go. It appears and chops his fingers off in 3D. Look. 3D. Fingers are coming off. And he falls back into the elevator, and the elevator starts moving. There you go. And the opening up the elevator. And it's going to get him, but it don't get him yet. It gets him in a minute. She goes running out, and it picks him up. Does for Pete's sake, there we go. Picks him up, takes him away, and that's the end of him. We don't see him again, so there we go. So off he goes to his doom. She goes running off. Scary clown there for some reason, don't know why. Another weird thing there. I don't know where she's supposed to be. Well, I know where she's supposed to be. Supposed to be in the basement, didn't she, of the mall? But I don't know why there's these things here. These weird little statues. Ah dear. I'm getting a bit dry in my throat. Anyway, where were we? Alright, so she ends up in, I think it's the garbage room, because it says that on the door. And she hides for a minute, and then she gets she sees there's all blood all over her coat. So she takes that off, because we've got to see in pretty much the rest of the film, in what she had in the dream at the beginning, and what she has in the game as well. The white waistcoat, but I don't think she has the red hoodie on underneath in the game. I don't think she does, but I could be wrong. So she's waiting there, and then a fella comes in, and I think they're supposed to do a a scene or something like this where he were a monster for a brief moment. I mean, maybe he is when he comes in, I don't know. But if it is, it's a bloody blink and you miss it thing. Let's go through it a frame at a time. It might take a while. Is he going to be a no? It cut away. I think maybe they cut it out and they were going to be a monster. That's why she's freaking out. Let's just wait and see what happens. Oh dear. No, it's fine, isn't he? He's not a monster. Or is it going to be in a minute? If he turns around, she's going to get one last glimpse. No. I think they might cut it out. I think it was supposed to be a monster and have a weird face when she first saw him, but obviously they changed their mind for some reason. So she goes running off. There you go. She's back outside. Oh, she's just running out, and suddenly there's loads of police there. All of a sudden, and this policeman says, "Hey, miss, you're not supposed to be here because they're bringing out Douglas Cartland's body." There you go. And they find his wallet. So they know who he is. A PI from out of town. There you go. And then he's also got a picture of. Actually, they also find another coat. They find Heather's coat that's covered in blood. They've done this quick, haven't they? Because she was just there a minute ago. But anyway, they found her coat that's covered in blood. There you go. And I don't know if this is in the. Say, hand it over to. It's got blood on it. So hand it over to forensic. Find out who that blood is. But there's a photo. There you go. They find some ID. Heather Mason, Sharon De Silva. This girl. Maybe this is hers. Because he's got a photo. I don't know. I presume Douglas Cartland had the photo. I don't know, but there's a photo of her, and obviously these are not the most observant detectives because they're looking at that picture there of her in the exact clothes that. Who took the picture? Because it's the clothes that she had on that day. So obviously Douglas Cartland been going around. Has he got like an Instamatic camera, or did he go to the 1 hour photo thing? Because she's even got the white thing on. She's there. Look. So they're not very observant, are they? They're great detectives. I'm more of a PU from out of town. Oh, you mean, are you a... Is it plutonium PU? I can't remember. I think it is, isn't it? Are you a plutonium from out of town? Or do you mean a PU? Anyway. I'm just looking at any of the others. Why has he got a red nose? Has he got a red nose? Is he supposed to be a clown? Oops, pressed the wrong button. Sorry. Oh, no, it's just the light. I thought he had a red nose. I thought it was going to be some weird clown thing. But anyway, and then suddenly Kit Harrington's there. Look, it just appeared out of nowhere, didn't it? Can we see him sneaking up? No, it just appears from behind the man with the flat cap on, look. It says, "Hey up, love." And she says, "Sod off." Anyway, he walks off, he follows her. And luckily he's got 2 coats on. He says, "You're freezing. What happened to your coat?" And she says, "I'm not telling you." So he says, "Here, put this other coat, because I've got 2. I don't know anybody walks about with 2 coats on, unless it's just really, really cold there. It must be. I know it's Canada, but it's supposed to be somewhere in America. That's quite away from West Virginia, because Silent Hill in these series is supposed to be in West Virginia. Anyway, so I don't know where they are. They're up north, I imagine, but I don't know. Right, so they get on the bus, and they meet this crazy laughing man on the bus. So apparently we're just an extra, and we're just really good at laughing like a crazy man. The director was saying, I kept asking him, I said, laugh like a crazy man, then cry like a crazy man, then laugh like a crazy man. And he said, he was brilliant, he just did it all. An extra. Anyway. So he's asking her all about, where you're from, and she says, "Oh, just round the corner." He says, "No, originally," and she says, "Oh, I don't know, I'm not telling you." And then she says, "Do you think there's a difference between dreams and reality?" And he went, "Eh?" But then the crazy man suddenly starts playing with. Hang on, we'll see it in a minute, maybe, if it's going to show us. There we go. He gets a Robbie Rabbit out like she saw in her dream. So, anyway, right, so they get off the bus, and they say good night, and I think they're in Moscow or somewhere like that. I don't know, but so they part, and he says, "I'll give you a call." He says, "You haven't got my number because I haven't got a phone," but she has got a phone, but never mind. And she says, "I'll see you later." Oh, and she gives him his coat back. Because remember, she's got to be in this for the rest of the film, or at least for the end. Right, so she goes home. I presume one of these houses is her house. I don't know which one. We'll say that one. I don't know. But it's close enough for him to hear what's going to happen in a minute. So she goes in, says, "Dad," obviously he's not there. Then she sees that on the wall, "Come to Silent Hill," and somebody's probably took the time doing that, didn't they? But, right, so she sees that, so something up. She goes looking for him, he's obviously not there. Then she hears a knock on the door. Oh no, I think she might have screamed. I think. Oh, she's calling out for her dad anyway, but I think she might have screamed at some point. And then Vincent is knocking on the door saying, "I heard you scream. Are you all right?" And then he sees that, says, "What's going on?" And then she goes and gets the box out with all the stuff in. There you go, passports and all that stuff. Where is it? Whatever. And notepads and all that stuff with information in. And then there's a knock at the door. There you go. And it's the police. Because remember, they're investigators. They must have found out where they live. So they're busting. But they've run off. They've gone. So... They're saying, "What's all this? Is it some gang thing?" I don't think so. Anyway, so they're driving. This is Harry's car, by the way, Christopher's car, Sean Bean's car, because she said, "Can you drive?" Because she's got the car keys. So, "Can you drive? Because I can't drive. You've got to take me to Silent Hill." So he says, "All right then." So off he goes. And right, so as he's driving, she's looking through this notebook, which is amazing. Why do they have amazing notebooks in films that have these great drawings in, and it's all really well made and great, like scrapbook things glued in that looks amazing. But anyway, I've got to say, when I was watching it earlier on, I could have swore I saw Alessa's reflection in the window, but I don't think it is. Like there, look. I could have swore I saw Alessa's reflection, but I think it's just like a bit of pareidolia or something like that as the stuff's going by. But see if you can see it. I'm going to go a frame at a time. I'm sure it looks like a face to me, but I think it might be just a bit of pareidolia going on. Like the slightly steamed up windows, maybe. But that's in my mind. I thought, it'd be cool, that, wouldn't it, if Alessa were keeping an eye on her. But anyway, there you go. She's she finds a note. It's obviously written at some point, in case something happened. Is to read that. If you're reading this, something's happened to me. Don't go to Silent Hill. They'll kill you and all that stuff. We're seeing what happened, why they went on the run, because he accidentally killed this fella. And there you see she's got dark hair, look. Because it said earlier on that her roots were showing, so she says, "I'll take care of it." So she obviously dyed her hair, although she just looks like a bad wig, that, doesn't it? But never mind. Anyway, just make sure we're still going. On the YouTubes and on Rumble, yes, we're still going. And we're still going on Twitch as well. Right. So that's showing when they head out, they're on the run. Right, so there we go. Midwich. Oh, this is to do with Alessa, isn't it? Because it's Midwich Elementary School from 1973. So they're showing all that. And then she starts going through the history. I think it's this way. They start going through the history of Silent Hill. But then Seal of Metatron, find other half. Because she said earlier on when she saw saw it earlier, it was in the box earlier on, and she got it out. The seal of Metatron that we saw at the beginning of the film. She turned it over and said, "It looks like it joins with something else." And I thought, how did she work that out? But anyway, but it says there, find other half, key to the other world. I said it's one of these cool. I said, journals that just have amazing drawings in and all stuff like that. That they always have in these films, don't they? And anyway, so there we go. We learned that Silent Hill was originally a prison colony built on ground taken from the native Indians. They called it the place of silent spirits. And then Kit Harington says, what does he say? Hang on. There you go. Never build on ancient Indian burial grounds. He says, I thought everybody knew that. Anyway, so she's carrying on, looking through the notepad. And the director was saying, the production designers did all this notebook and put all this amazing stuff in it that you're never going to see. But they went through it all, and they got lots of notes from Konami, about the games and stuff, and the backstory and lore of the games and all that stuff, and they included all that in here that nobody will ever read. Of course, I can't be bothered. Anyway, it was a proto-science, it says there, generated. I can't bloody read it. Can't read it. No, he's put in big letters for some reason. Anyway, so they're heading to Silent Hill. So that's basically the upshot of that. She finds some, more stuff. There you go. Seal of Metatron, we've seen that. Reveals the truth of things in red. Right. Oh, and then we get a picture of Pyramid Head with a big arrow pointing at him. It's like a thumbnail, a YouTube thumbnail, isn't it? They always have big arrows or circles around stuff that have nothing to do with the content of the video. But anyway, so we see what she's going to have to, put up with. Then a reuse of the CG road that we saw at the beginning of the first film, but I think they've added some misty mist just to change it up a bit. Right, so they're heading into Silent Hill. But they're not quite there yet. They're going to stop at Jack's Inn. There it is, Jack's Inn. Which I think is in one of the games, but I don't know which one. But anyway. Right, so they're in. They'll get a room at the inn, the motel, whatever you want to call it. And for some reason, there's a ruby slipper there. Is it a reference to the nurse from the first film? The one with, not the dark nurse as the other nurse, because she had red shoes on. Or is it just a ruby slipper? Is it a Wizard of Oz reference? I have no idea. Or is it both? Could be both, I don't know. But that's there. Why is it there? Don't know. Is it ornamental or somebody just left it? I don't know, but it's there. Anyway, we get a revelation now, because it's called Revelation, that, hang on, Wingray says, I need to start doing those thumbnails. I'm tempted sometimes. Because they say, don't they, that they work and they get people to click on your video, so I'm going to have to do something. Maybe Wizard of Oz, since that was another realm. Yeah, probably. Probably is a Wizard of Oz reference, because Ruby Slip, no place like home and all that stuff in there. But yeah, they're over the rainbow, so to speak. Anyway, we have this revelation that is not just a friend helping her. He's a child of the Brotherhood or the Order or whatever they call it. And basically he was sent to find her. Hang on, is this going to show? Oh, there we go. I noticed this. I don't know if this is relevant. Let me go back again. There we go. Jinn. Is that relevant? Because obviously a jinn is like a genie or a spirit or a demon in it. In Arabic law or Arabian law, jinn. I don't know if that's what that means. Could do. Then axe in. I don't know. But anyway. Then she's having another dream of Alessa doing her Alessa stuff. There we go, sorting things out, killing people, getting her revenge. He's checking out the seal of Metatron. It is called that in the game, but I don't know why it is. Because Metatron was the voice of God, wasn't it? Or it, played by Alan Rickman in Dogma. Anyway. Right, she wakes up anyway. And this is where he tells her that, he's a child of the Order and, she should go. Her dad didn't want her to go to Silent Hill. He told her in the notebook, don't go to Silent Hill. And he said, you shouldn't go because they're after you and they need you to go there. That's why they took her dad. They couldn't kidnap her because that wouldn't work. They need her to go to Silent Hill of her own free will. Why? Don't know, but they do. So the only way to get to do that was to kidnap her father and take him there so that she'd go to Silent Hill voluntarily. On his showing, there you go. They did that to him for reasons. I forgot why. Why does it say? There you go. Requires. Oh, yes, that's how he got out of Silent Hill. Let's say she got out because she had the seal of Metatron. That's how she got out. And she said, but people are trapped in Silent Hill. And he says, no, you can get out. Some people can get out. But there you go. It requires sacrifice and suffering. So he's got like this massive sigil, whatever, carved into his skin. Because it shows a little clip there of him carving it into his skin. And a little view there. This is Carrie-Anne Moss as Claudia, but we see her properly later. Right, so there you go. She's remembering Alessa. So she's not best pleased, but he's saying, no, I know now it's all wrong and I'm on your side. And she's like, oh, shut off. And meanwhile, the lights are flickering, so it means something weird is happening. So the lights start flickering and the clock starts doing daft stuff. And then all the lights go out. Hang on. And then something happens, and I forgot what. Look, stuff's happening, Silent Hill's happening, and there you go. Right, oh no, it's all changing into Silent Hill basically. So they're all in a weird. It's like a totally different place now, isn't it? I mean, in the original, they were in the same place, but it just looked different. You know, it were all, instead of it just being smooth walls, it were like chain link fences or metal plates. But this is like just totally different, isn't it? Anyway. But then the thingamabob appears. I forgot to call it again already. Missionary appears, I think, behind him. There it is. And it grabs him, takes him away. She gets knocked down. She comes to. And she's unconscious. There she is on the motel room floor. Everything's gone back to normal again. Remember, they can't take her. She's not quite in Silent Hill yet. They can't take her. She's got to go there of her own free will. Why they took Vincent, I've no idea. But they have. Right, so there you go. She grabs her stuff and off she's going to go. Oh, and this shot here, the director says, it's the worst effect in the film. He says it looks awful. It was actually filmed outside on the wherever the motel is, and he says it was a really sunny day, and for some reason it just looks really flat and crap. So obviously all the fog and stuff's all added digitally. And he says it just looks rubbish, but tough to make do. It still looks rubbish, doesn't it? But there you go. She's in Silent Hill now. This is a different road in, though, isn't it? How many roads is there into Silent Hill? Because it's obviously a different road to the film, to what were in the first film, because it's on the other side of the road, isn't it, for a start? But anyway, in she goes to Silent Hill. And it's a different town. The film in a different town. The first one, was it Brampton or something? Or Branston, I can't remember now, in the first film. I've closed all the tabs. Whereas this one is, where is it? Cambridge, Ontario. So there we go. Anyway, so here she is. But it's still all misty and ashy. People looking out through the windows with sallow complexions. That looks a lot like the alley that Rose chased Alessa down, didn't it? But it probably isn't, because it's a different town that they filmed it in. Anyway, there you go. She's arriving at the church. Is this supposed to be the same church from the first film? Because it looks completely different, doesn't it? Unless it's a side view or something. But that were up on a bit of a hill, wasn't it? Don't know. Maybe it's the Q continuum. Could be. Although that were more like a highway, wasn't it? I thought that was dead stupid. I hated that in Voyager, where they went to the Q continuum. First it was just a desert highway, and then it was the American Civil War. We've got to show it in ways that your mind can understand. Oh, shut up. Anyway, so going to the church. She sees all this stuff. She sees like people being crucified, or there's people that have been burned at the stake. There we go, or are going to be burned at the stake, or whatever. And then we get a flashback to the first film with Alice Krieg. There we go. Must have got permission to use her likeness for the second film. Then she comes across Dahlia Gillespie, so she's back again. Is Deborah Cara Unger. There she is. And she's got different hair, if you notice. In the first film, she's like really long hair, but it were all like dreadlocks and weird and all stuff like that. And the director of this said he didn't quite like that. He wanted her to look more like she did in the game, so that's how he's made her look. She's got regular hair, but grey. He says, but maybe Christoph Gans was right. I don't know, but anyway. But she came in and she redid the role from the first film. So there we go. There you go, showing her all about Alessa and what they did to her and all that stuff. But for some reason she doesn't recognise Heather as Alessa or Sharon. But I think has she still got? Is that the what they call it, pendant that Rose had with the picture of Sharon in it? Don't know. Is it going to show us? Is it going to show us? Don't think it is. I think it's what it's supposed. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Right. All right. She's got another flashback of Alessa being burned. And then we're going to see the pyramid head, I think, in a minute. I think we did. Like showing them where they left the baby on the steps and all that stuff. That's Sharon. So it's a bit, bit of a recap, bit of exposition, just to bring us up to speed. Then the siren goes off. There we go. So he got to head into the church or whatever. And there we go. And we're seeing it all happening outside. It usually just happens inside, doesn't it? But they wanted to see what happened to the transformation of the town outside. Everything's look all changing. So where's she headed? I don't know, but she's running off somewhere. She runs into this place. She runs into there. I can't remember what it is. She comes across. Is it? It's like a warehouse, something like that. She finds loads of mannequins in here. She goes round and she finds this room with all mannequins in. She finds. There you go. There he is again, Robbie the rabbit. Keep seeing the rabbit, and actually that's a hair, a cooked hair on the plate. Anyway, she comes across this room with more mannequins in. Have I missed something? There we go. There's another rabbit. Look, another Robbie rabbit there. There we are. Room with all mannequins in. There they are. And she looks in one of the bag with a head in it. I've gone past it. And she looks in. There we go. And it opens its eyes. As she's looking. Is it going to do it? Hang on. CG, by the way. Not the best CG. Later on, the only CG monster in the film is coming up, and it doesn't look. It looks okay, and he were proud of it with the director. But there's something about the eyes and the mouths in it that just, I don't know, there's something weird about it. Anyway. So she carries on. We're going to have to be careful here. There's a lady with the boobies out. We have to be careful. She finds this woman on this table. And she's alive, but she can't move or whatever. And we see what happens to her. She gets essentially changed into a mannequin. So we have to be quick here. And as she's looking, she's skipping on all the wrong bits in it. There we go. There we go. She's been changed into a mannequin, look. Turning into a plastic figure. There we go. Even with the line there, where the head can come off. But, so she's like, oh, crikey, what happened then? And then she hears a noise and she finds somebody else, another girl, wrapped in plastic. She gets her out and she says, what happened? She says, we got lost in the fog. So her and a friend have just been turned into a mannequin. Got lost in the fog and ended up in Silent Hill. And the director was saying, they've got their own story to tell. there could be loads of stories in Silent Hill, and they've got their story, how they got lost and ended up in Silent Hill, and what happened to them, and how they ended up there, and what's going to happen to them after this scene. But anyway, so she gets her out, and then there we go, she says it's coming, and then we see what's coming. It's this weird thing. Let's say like a mannequin creature. And remember, there used to be a show called Legends of Cosplay, something like that. I think it's Legends or Heroes of Cosplay. I think it's Heroes of Cosplay. A series. I think it just went for 2 seasons, I think. I think it was on Sci-Fi Channel, I think. Anyway, the one of them, I think in the first season, I can't remember, he did this. He did that puppet, this mannequin creature, and it wasn't very good. But anyway, so that's chasing them. There we go. Alright, goes over this young lady that's just been turned into a mannequin. It takes her head. There we go. Rips her head off. There we go. And this is where we see. There we go. And it doesn't look. She opens her mouth and screams. It doesn't look the best, does it? But it's fine. Whatever. So anyway, so they're running away and they're hiding. But obviously it finds them and it pushes. There you go. They're hiding there, and she sees that vent. They can get out through that vent, but they can't move. And it pushes the racking over onto them. I'm going to do a 3D monster. There we go. And directing the commentary was saying, "Oh, look, scary coming at you out the screen." So you're thinking, I don't think he was impressed. He wasn't. He agreed to do the 3D like in duress. But anyway, right. So they're getting to the vent. So they're crawling through the ducting. But it grabs hold of the other lass and drags her away. There we go. And we don't see her again. So I presume she's going to get turned into a mannequin as well. So we don't see her again. Right, so then we cut to we find out where Sean Bean is, Christopher, Harry, whatever you want to call him. He's tied up down somewhere on a statue, and here's Carrie-Anne Moss as Claudia Wolfe, who is the sister of Dahlia Gillespie and Christabella. But I don't know what Christabella's last name was in the first film, and I've closed the tab, so I don't know. But their surname's Wolfe, and their father is called Wolfe. So why would Dahlia Gillespie? She must be married. That must be a married name. I don't know. But anyway, here we learn that Vincent is her son, and she's learned that he's betrayed her. If you hadn't told me, if we didn't know that this were Carrie-Anne Moss, I probably wouldn't have known it were Carrie-Anne Moss. She actually reminds me of somebody I've seen in another film, and I can't think who. And I've been racking my mind trying to think who she reminds me of, and I can't think where I've seen her in another film. But anyway, she doesn't look like a wraith from Stargate Atlantis. Although we do get a monster later that kind of reminds me of a wraith soldier. But anyway, she does remind me of something I can't think who. But anyway. They had to, for some reason, they had to have her with no eyebrows. So rather than just have Carrie-Anne Moss shave her eyebrows, which she probably didn't want to do, they just covered them over, with prosthetics or whatever, and it doesn't look very good. Kind of like Hellboy 2. Yes, she does look a bit like the princess, doesn't she? Is it Nuad or whatever? No, not Nuad. Duad. The princess elf, whatever. She does look a bit like her, but that's not what I'm thinking of, but I know what you mean. Anyway, so where were we? So he's betrayed them. So she says, take him away to the hospital or whatever, so it can be for his treatment. So and all that stuff. Because she's as bad as her sister. We also learned, I forgot to mention, that his grandfather, Vincent's grandfather, went crazy and is in a lunatic asylum. We meet him in a bit. He's going to be Malcolm McDowell, by the way. Right, so there you go. You can see where they've covered up her eyebrows. It doesn't look very good, does it? But anyway, whatever. Why? Well, just let her have her eyebrows, for God's sake. Anyway, so they're in this temple. This is supposed to be, the god or something, and it's got a name, but I can't remember what. They did mention it. I've forgotten. But they're under Silent Hill. We learn later on that they're actually underneath the amusement park. Lakeside Amusement Park. But anyway, and this is one of the soldiers of the Brotherhood, and they never take their gas masks off apparently, so that the air of Silent Hill doesn't corrupt them. Anyway, so she says, take him away. Take him away. So that's what they're going to do. Because remember, Vincent's a goodie. Right, she gets out of this vent and off she goes. There you go, she's at the asylum. Look, she's going to find... I forgot his bloody name, Malcolm McDowell's character. Leonard Wolf. She's going to find him soon. We're seeing crucified people. Because it's Silent Hill. Right, she's there. She's doing a bit like Rose in the first film. She's going to ruffle through some papers in a minute. There we go. And get some information. She finds a flashlight. Lots of flashlights that work just lying about in Silent Hill, isn't there? Batteries never run out or leak. Anyway, is my poppy still there? Yes, it is. Right. There you go. Oh, she finds his file right on top. Leonard Wolf Leonard. So she finds out what room he's in. So somebody's got a false leg that's missing there. And another one. Right, so off she goes looking for that. Hang on, what's happening here? I've forgotten. Another monster appears. I don't remember this bit. She just shoots it. I do remember this bit. It's coming out together, this monster, with his brain out, but I think she just shoots him. Because she's got a gun. I forgot to mention that. When she was going through the box and the effects and stuff like that, she found the seal of Metatron and also a gun with a clip in it, so she can defend herself. There you go. Bang. There you go. Bit of 3D blood on the camera. There we go, so she's dealt with that. Right, off she goes. Looking for Leonard Fox. No, she's going to find in a minute. Probably behind that door, do you reckon? So, here we're going to meet Malcolm McDowell in a minute. There, she's in the room. Where is he? Don't know. Here he is. There's Malcolm McDowell. Had to wear contact lenses to make him look blind, and he didn't want to. Because apparently, when he was speaking of Stanley Kubrick... I said that bum earlier on, homeless man, sorry. That homeless man earlier on looked like Stanley Kubrick. Well, he said when he did, A Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick basically tortured him, with the scene where he kept his eyes open, with that thing that kept his eyes open. He hated it. And he didn't like anything done with his eyes. Excuse me. Yes, it is. Time is a fire in which we burn, Captain. But he says, you'll be fine. And so he put the contact lenses. He said they were okay. But then apparently he's had trouble with his eyes ever since. The director says, but it's nothing to do with me. But Malcolm has apparently complained that after wearing the contact lenses for this, he's had trouble with his eyes ever since. I don't know what that means, but anyway. But he doesn't wear them for long. Like I say, he's not in this film long, and I bet he was just in for the day. I bet they shot this in a day. But anyway, off we go. So she finds him, and he's quite crazy, and I think they've given him a lobotomy. Looks like it, doesn't it? There, that was the word I was trying to think of earlier with the butcher fella. Lobotomy. I think I've had one. A chemical one. It's moved. Look. I've just noticed that. His lobotomy scar, unless he's got one on both sides. Do you think they've flipped that image? Or has he got one on both sides? Let's go back and check again. No. Yes, they've mirrored the image, haven't they? He's got there, it's on his right side of his head. That's his part in there, isn't it? And then later on, let me see him again. There we go. There's his parting. So they've just mirrored the image, haven't they? They made a pig's ear of that, didn't they? Bloody hell, Michael. Was that why you became transgender? You didn't want to associate with this film, but he'd think you were somebody different. Anyway, So here he is, he's giving her information about, Silent Hill and all that. But apparently, he's got the other half of the seal of Metatron. And he says, but I'm blind, so he'll have to give it to me and show me it, so I can feel it, because I can't see it. So she agrees to put it in his hand, and she points the gun at him in case he's up to something. But he is up to something, and he says the other half is within me, and he pushes it into himself. In a minute, when he's ready, there you go. Pushes it into himself because the other half is in him, so it must automatically clank together or something to the other half. So it does that, and then it seals up, and then he grabs hold of it. Basically, he's becoming a monster now. So he grabs hold of it, and she shoots him. There we go. That's not Malcolm McDowell, is it? Unless the mirror, it's not the mirror universe. I think I bet they filmed it where he was on the opposite side of frame, and they thought, hang on, she's moved round him, so he should be the other way around now, and but they didn't have a shot, from that direction, so I bet they just mirrored it, for it to make sense. I bet that's what they did. I hope nobody would notice. Anyway, she shot him, but he's not dead because he's going to transform because he's got the whole part of the Metatron thing, seal of Metatron in him. He's going to turn into a monster that kind of reminds me a bit of a Wraith soldier from Stargate Atlantis. But anyway, here he's going to come. Not Malcolm McDowell, some big fella in a monster suit. Here he comes. Hang on, where are we? There he is. There he is. Malcolm McDowell's not in it again now, that's it. As I said, I bet they just got him for a day. I wonder how much he charges. I sometimes wonder that. Sometimes you get these big actors in these little films, they've gone in for the day, done their scene, and then buggered off. I was thinking, how much do they charge? I know it depends on the actor, but I wonder how much Malcolm McDowell got paid for that. 10 grand? I don't know. But whatever. It grabs hold of her, there we go, and it's carrying her through the hallway of melted plastic, which is what this is. Put like heat gun on plastic sheeting and stuff, just to make it look all like that. So it's carrying it, and as it's walking, you can see that through the grating there's all these faces and stuff of the damned are supposed to be, and some of them are still alive. Look, because they're all in purgatory. But then they slap him all on the box and ask, and the marketing, that's it. Make the most of it, don't they? Got to sell it. Got to put it and sell it, because you got to sell it and sell it. Anyway, she as she's being carried, because she's over his shoulder, she can see, for some reason now, he's got a big hole in his chest. Don't know why. I think she shot him in the head, I think. But I don't know. But he's got a big hole in it, and you can see the Metatron, the now complete seal of Metatron, glowing in his chest. So she just reaches in and grabs it, as you would. There we go. Just reaches in and grabs it, pulls it out, and then he dissolves. He goes, his eyes bulge out for a minute, and then he dissolves into nothing. Look, there we go. So that's the end of. I forgot his name already. Leonard Fox. What is it, Leonard? I don't know. So there we go. So, but anyway, I think it's all glowing. So this is the MacGuffin, by the way. That's how we described it. When you first see it in the film, the director, M.J. Barrett, she said, or they were he at the time, said, there it is, the MacGuffin. That's what he said. Really good commentary. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, so she's got the Metatron now. So. Right, so she's going through this area, and I think remember it used to be a prison colony, we were told earlier on. So now she's in a prison cell area, and there we are, there's the cells, and she gets grabbed. There we go. A prisoner grabs her. There's all the other prisoners. They're trying to grab her too, and she screams out, "Help me, help!" And then help does arrive. In a minute, hang on, where are we? Help does arrive in a minute. Here we go. In the form of Pyramid Head, because Pyramid Head protects Alessa. This one definitely feels more video gamey than the first. It's more. I say it's basically an adaptation of Silent Hill 3, isn't it? Apparently, as I said, I think I started playing it, as I said earlier on. I don't think I got very far, or I might be getting it mixed up with the Silent Hill 4. A couple of them, well, quite a few of them, I have started and not finished. But anyway. So it comes along and it starts chopping the arms off. There we go, the prisoners, because it's basically it's there. It protects Alessa. So it's essentially a goodie. It's turned good. Bloody game, yes. TM. So it's basically it's protecting because she's Alessa, isn't she? You know, for all intents and purposes. So it's protecting her, and which is kind of, I suppose, what it was doing in the first film as well, or it was doing her bidding, and now it's here to protect her. She cried out for help, and it's come to help her. So that's what it's doing. It's chopping the arms off all the prisoners and giving her a chance to get away. But obviously, she doesn't know this, so she goes running off. You should stream one of them as a playthrough. That's that long since I bloody played them. Probably won't be able to. Perfect time, right after Halloween. I've got to do this. I've started Star Wars Jedi Survivor, haven't I? I've got that to finish. I keep forgetting about it. It's been a while, hasn't it, since the last time I played it. Anyway. Right, so she gets away, hides among the melted plastic. There she is. See more of the faces under the grating. And then she hears a noise. Somebody's coming. There you go. And so she... So she hides. She just gets in here, and obviously these men are the most unobservant men. Yes, get on with it, man. I know, I'm hopeless. Enough hours in the day. Anyway, I overstretch myself sometimes, I think. I've got this Babylon 5 bloody thing to do yet, haven't I? Oh, God, me and my big mouth. Anyway, so they're coming. Here we are. We see him in a minute. There we are. They're bringing Vincent. Oh, he's on a gurney. They bring him through, and they just don't notice her there. It's not as if she's behind a wall or anything. She's just there. So I don't know. Unless they think, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, survive. Yes, I know. I have to get on with that Jedi Survivor. Yes, I know. I'm at a bit where I have to go up a wall with all the electricity, and I don't want to do it because I know it's going to get me angry. Anyway, so where were we? They're taking Vincent to the nurses. Right, here we go. We're going to meet the nurses now. So we're in some sort of operating room with lots of lovely NHS hospital equipment. I'm kidding. Ooh, crikey. There we go. So they've got dancers in again, but not glamour dancers, the director says. They're just, I don't know, regular dancers. I don't know, but all squeezed into these tight skirts. Dresses, and I'm not complaining. And they're all in these, awkward positions. And the director said a lot of them, we had people holding them up until he called action, and then they like, darted out of frame, and then because some of them, they're wobbling a little bit. But he says they're supposed to be wobbling a little bit. They're not they're not statues. They're just still. They are organic, creatures, but they're just still. But they do wobble a bit, and he says that's what they're supposed to do. But anyway, so here we go. So they're coming through, and they bring in. Here we go. They're bringing in Vincent, and these are activated by noise, not light like the other ones were. Typical American healthcare. I mean, it shouldn't be, because you've got to pay for yours, haven't you? I know we pay for ours through taxation and all that, but you have to pay at the time, haven't you? I mean, American hospitals have a cashier, I suppose, don't they? You go and ring it up on the till. Anyway, so they start attacking because they're activated by noise. These men coming in with this gurney with Vincent on start making noises, so they start lashing out at him. So he's got a cattle prod and he's saying, "Oh, stop it!" So he's zapping the nurses, but then another one stabs this fella, and he gets stabbed in the eye in 3D. Remember, it's a 3D film. Hashtag save the NHS. Yeah. There's going to be a thing, isn't there? We've got a month to save the NHS. They always do them every now and again, don't they? We pay, but they don't do anything. I don't know. Like I say, can't complain about the NHS. Can you get an appointment without an insurance quote? Well, that's America, isn't it? Got to have your medical insurance. I think most countries now, just going off on a tangent, do have kind of a national health thing, don't they? Like the NHS, that's paid for through taxation. It's free at the point of service. I think America's one of these few countries that still don't have that, isn't they? But I think that's what they were trying to do, wasn't it, with the Obamacare and all that, wasn't it? But I don't know. Anyway, he's been stabbed. Right, so I think any healthcare system wouldn't be able to save him, however it works. So that's him down. And then they deal with the other fella, get a bit of blood on the camera because it's 3D. So they're all dealing with them. And then when it's all quiet, they all go still again. And Vincent tries to struggle free, but every time he makes a noise, they move again. They're a bit like the angels of Doctor Who, aren't they? But sexier. Stick a bag on the head, they'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, where is she? What's her face? Heather appears. She's going to appear in a minute. She's going to appear just at the bottom of the frame. Her hands come up. I don't know how she's snuck in without me hearing her, but she has. Here she is. Look, her hands up here. This is Heather arriving. Oh, you can't see from my fat head. Hang on. There. That was a hand appearing. Whoa. Oops, cracking on, where are we? Unlikely we'll get one for at least 4 years about an appointment. Thing is, in the UK, we pay tax on everything we buy, but in America, you do your taxes once, right? Tis but a scratch. I know we have more taxes over here than they do in America. But anyway. Right, where were we? She frees him, but they are listening. They do hear. They're being quiet, but they start talking to each other. But they do hear them, but they're not like going for them. So you think they'd have them whispering, but they're not. They're just talking in normal voice. Normal voices. But anyway, they're going to come and get him. So we have a thing here where she's trying to get him free, but the nurses are attacking again. The gurney falls over, or the tippet. Oh, I've missed it. I've gone too far. Let's go back again. There we go. Gurney tipples over, and the director in the commentary was saying, "We stuck an expensive 3D camera rig on this gurney, just tipped it over, and we shouldn't have really done that because they're really expensive and it could have broken, but they were fine." Anyway, they get out. They're fine. They get out. They escape the nurses, and I think the nurses just end up going back to standing still again, and looking very cleavagey, which is fine by me. Right, they're out on the streets. They've got to get to the. He tells her, does Vincent, that her dad is being held in the temple or whatever, which is underneath Lakeside Amusement Park. I think it's Lakeside. Anyway, where were we? Wingress says we're still talking about tax. We have sales tax on everything we buy. Then we have an early income tax to give to the government. We literally can't do anything without a tax. At least we don't have the window tax anymore, do we? Yearly. A yearly income tax to give to the government. Anyway. Anywho. Right, so they've to get to the amusement park. The haunted amusement park. It's like Scooby-Doo, innit? Hey gang, let's split up and search for clues. Let's check out this haunted amusement park, Scoob. Don't give them any ideas, Steve. Well, there used to be a window tax in the old days, didn't there? That's why I think in a lot of buildings, particularly old buildings, used to see a lot of buildings like boarded up or bricked up, but they used to have more windows. And I don't know when the window tax ended, but the bricked up windows so they'd pay less tax. Something like that. I'm sure I saw that in a programme somewhere. Probably QI. Anyway, is that still going, QI? Because that's where, 95% of all knowledge of British people came from QI, didn't it? With Stephen Fry. But anyway. And then, of course, we have a sin tax on things like cigarettes. Yeah, we do as well. They want to tax us per bloody mile. Bloody thieves. Anyway, right, so, amusement park, haunted amusement. Here we go, they're heading to the haunted amusement park. There's the rabbit again. It keeps popping up through the film. And I don't know why. I don't know the significance of it is. Because I don't tell you I don't think it tells you in the game either. It's just there. Right, so here they are. They're at the amusement park. And there's supposed to be an inflatable Robbie Rabbit. Because he said in the commentary, he said, there's an inflatable Robbie Rabbit there. And I can't, I've watched it twice and I didn't bloody see it. But anyway. So, here we go. They're in the haunted amusement park. Right. There's all the stuff. They actually built an amusement park for the... yes, it doesn't seem very amusing, does it? They actually built this for the film. It's not one that already existed and they rented it out, whatever. They actually built this for the film, and people came and visited it while they were filming, and they said pictures appeared on the internet and stuff like that. But it's not a real amusement park. Right, where's the bloody inflatable Robbie Rabbit? There's the rides. There's more Robbie Rabbits, but they're not inflatable ones. They're plushies, aren't they? I can't see one. I mean, there's that there, but that's one of them, like you see outside car showrooms. I forgot what they call them. They're that funny thing, weren't they, in something. I can't remember what it was. Was it like Family Guy or something like that, or where they describe what they are? But that's not one. I don't think it was, unless it's supposed to be one. Let's have a look. Oh, by the way, they're being chased by these soldiers who don't want the mask taken off. Is it supposed to be a Robbie Rabbit, that? I don't know. I don't think it was it? Anyway. There's another one there. There's the one she saw in a dream, because there's the hiding, and she sees that in a bit, that she had in a dream at the beginning. It's pointing out where she's to go. She's to go to the carousel. Finally managed to do a new Godzilla video. I was supposed to do it last week. All right, cool. I will watch that. Is it uploaded, or have you just done it? Have you just recorded it? They've not uploaded it yet. Whatever, I'll check it out later. Wacky waving inflatable tube man. Oh, but it Family Guy, yes. Yes. Right. They used to have one outside a car wash downtown. And the car wash used to be called Mr. Sparkles, and it was a. I don't know if this was true or not, because I'm not into that sort of thing. But they also used to say they used to sell drugs, because it was a car wash that used to drive through and they'd clean your car as you drove through. It's not like an automated one. There were people that did, cleaned your car. And they used to sell drugs as well. If you're driving through, if you knew the code words or whatever, I don't know. But it was called Mr. Sparkles, and then it changed maybe to get away from the drug blemish, and now it's called Purples. And I thought, well, that's even worse, because Purple's a kind of drug. But anyway, whatever. Premier's tomorrow at 2. Sorry, today. Is it after midnight? Is it? I don't know what time it is. Bloody hell it is, isn't it? Crikey. Me bloody double features. Anyway, right, so they're being chased by the whatever they call them, soldiers of the thingamabob. Is this what he's going to tell them? There we go. Brethren, the most devout servants of the order, they won't breathe in the air of Silent Hill because it'll thingamabob. What does he say? There you go. Won't breathe the air of the darkness because, is he going to say? Oh, whatever. Because it'll, they don't like it. Is that where Breaking Bad got the idea? Probably. Only 4 away from a third. It's still on 996. I know it's been there. It were up to 999 the other day and then went back down again. But we'll see. Will I get to 1,000 by Christmas? Or will it drop again? I don't know. I think YouTube's got it in for me. Infamy. Anyway, right. So she's got to get to the carousel. But there's these brethren people wandering about. So he's going to act as a diversion. So that's what he's going to do. And I think he kisses her here because I think they're in love. Do they? Yes, he kisses her because, whatever. Bloody algorithm. TM. Another T-shirt. So off he goes, distracting them. And I'm still looking for this blooming inflatable rabbit. Because he keeps saying, but I can't remember where he said it, but he says it's in the background somewhere. Where? Can't see it. Can't see the blooming thing. Anyway, whatever. Maybe he were lying. He could have just been lying. She's looking at, as she's waiting to go running off, she's looking at these goldfish. Remember, I don't remember seeing them in bowls at the park. You see goldfish in bags, in clear plastic bags, don't you? But anyway, they're in bowls, these goldfish, and this one just drops down to the bottom. And we learn, and it's a real alive goldfish. What they did, they got like a vet in or whatever, and they give it like put anaesthetic in the water. What they do with real fish and stuff, if they need to, operate on them or whatever the vets do with fish, it puts it to sleep. So they put it to sleep, so it just dropped there. And then they just take it out. Afterwards, they just took it out, put it in clean water, and it wakes back up again, and it's all lovely. So there we go. So it's a real alive fish, and it wasn't harmed. And there's the rabbit. I think she looks round at it, but it doesn't move this time. Remember in the dream it moved? I think she's waiting for it to move, and it doesn't move, because, it doesn't. Right. And we're going to see the inflatable... Was that it there? No, that's something else. I thought that was it there, that. I'm obsessed with this bloody inflatable, bloody Robbie Rabbit. Anyway, so she's going to make a run for the carousel. There it is. Right. But then she gets accosted by one of the brethren chaps, so she just rips his mask off. And he collapses to the floor, and gunk comes out of his mouth. So there you go. Is that just because of his belief that they don't want to breathe the air of the darkness, and that made that happen, or is there something actual physical? I don't know. But anyway, kind of remind me of Combine soldiers from Half-Life 2, don't they? If they're white, painted and white, like Combine soldiers, wouldn't they? Should have them with that weird voice and all that stuff. She looks a lot like Michelle Williams. I don't know what Michelle Williams looks like. I know the name, but I can't think what I've seen her in. Anyway, but she's called, I'll tell you again, I've forgotten her name, Adelaide Clemens. What else has she been in? Let's have a look. Where the hell is she? There she is. Adelaide Clemens, right. Australian actress. As I said, for some reason, both films had to have an Australian female lead and a British male lead, both playing Americans. But anyway, weirdly enough. What's she been in? In film, she has played Xandri in Wasted on the Young, never heard of it. Ladybird in Vampire, 2011, don't know that one either. Heather/Sharon in Silent Hill Revelation. Catherine in The Great Gatsby, Hazel in To the Stars, and Carey in The Swearing Jar. And she's been on TV as well. Done TV stuff and all. Anything I've seen? Nope. Oh no, she was in the Pacific. I've seen that. I've seen the Pacific. Didn't like it. It were no. Oh, she was in Pirates. Oh no, I'm looking at something else. It were no Band of Brothers, was it? Anyway, Michelle Williams, young Sil in Species. Oh right, okay. Before she became Natasha Henstridge. Anyway, right, combined soldiers going by. Right, she's heading for the. She gets to the carousel again, being operated by Pyramid Head, Red Pyramid. Don't know how they changed the name, just did. And for some reason, she doesn't see. She had that dream earlier on, but she doesn't see the fellas sort of like tied up in chains this time. So don't know why, but she doesn't. And then suddenly, just all these just burst into flames spontaneously. In a dream, it happened it started in a ring, didn't it? Also in Dawson's Creek, wasn't she? I've no idea. I've never seen it. Never seen it. I couldn't tell you anybody who were in Dawson's Creek. Couldn't. Don't think I could anyway. Because I've never seen it. Anyway, right. So she's on the carousel, which is wreathed in flames. And then she meets. She sees young. Oh, hang on. There you go. She sees young Alessa. Not Jodelle Furland. Doesn't look much like her in this for some reason, but then she grows up into grown up Alessa, dark Alessa, and she doesn't want to be. She says, you shouldn't have come back. I put my good side into this baby and sent it away. You shouldn't have come back. But all she's got left of her is hate, and she's going to destroy her now. So, but they can't. She can't destroy her. So they've essentially merged. There you go. By the way, the carousel, because Pyramid Head's working it, the carousel starts sinking. It's like a James Bond lair thing. It starts sinking into the ground with these flames look very. I don't know, Disney. Disney animated flames. But anyway. Pyramid Head's, is giving it all that. And I still can't see an inflatable Robbie Rabbit, but never mind. There we go. And she says, there you go, she embraces her. She says, I'm going to make you just like me. And all that stuff. And but she says, no, because we're the same. There you go. So they're going to become the same now. So that she's going to become, they are both going to be Alessa. Blue eyes. Look, she's got blue eyes. Remember in the first film, she kept painting people with blue eyes. I wonder if that's why they've done that. Anyway. There we go. So bad Alessa bursts into flames, and then she turns into smoke and goes into goes into Heather. So anyway, that's the end. She is now just Alessa or Heather, whatever you want to call her. She has both good and evil within her, like everybody else. We both have the capability of being evil as well as good, don't we? Should the need take us. So she's harmless, sort of. Although she doesn't leave little weird splotches on people that she gets. Why did in Star Trek, in what was it, Skin of Evil, when Armus got Tasha, why did she have that weird blob on the cheek? I don't know why, but anyway. Right, so they're down beneath the surface in some weird secret base that's underneath Silent Hill for some reason. But anyway, and they're in this thing which is an actual place. It's not a set, it's an actual building. I can't remember what he said it was. He said it was something. Then after this, I think we're after this, they used it for one of the Resident Evil films. I don't know when he did the commentary for this. We'll say about a year after the film came out, because he did mention how the film wasn't, very well received. So we'll say he did the commentary about a year after the film came out, maybe. So we'll say 2013. So if there were a Resident Evil film that came out around about 2013, 2014, it's in this same building that they used. Anyway. I think it was supposed to be like an embolism or something. I don't know, but it looked stupid. It looked like a cartoon blob, didn't it? A splotch. But anyway, So she's heading through here. There we go. Sees all the Brotherhood are there watching, and she goes in to the temple, whatever you want to call it. And there's a dad hung up there. There's Harry / Christopher. Oh no, hematoma. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But like I say, it looked like a cartoon blob, didn't it? Or a clip art. Anyway, there he is. Say, oh, Dad. And here comes Carrie Ann Moss. Claudia Wolf, being all evil. Um, I bet she was just there for the day as well, because we don't see her outside this set, do we? I don't think so, anyway. So I bet they just had this set, and they just filmed her scenes in a day, got her in a dress, in a wig and stuff, right? I've got a day, let's get it done, that's my lines. And that's it, done. Anyway, so they have their confrontation, and basically, she says, I want the seal of Metatron, so they can raise their god, because they even mention in it, somebody talks about, somebody in the background or whatever says, give her to the god. And I don't know, it stuck with me, did that, and I thought I should write that down, because for some reason I thought it was interesting where they said give her to the god and not just give her to God. They're not. 'Cause in the first film, they were trying to be all holy, weren't they? Christabella and all them in that church, thinking they were, being righteous and all stuff, and religious, and all that. But in this, it's kind of like a weird heathen cult where she's given to the god, so it's not God. And I don't know, it stuck with me, and I thought, I'll have to think about something for that. See if I can think up a story. I haven't written anything for a while, but it got me juices flowing. Anyway. Where were we? Oh, actually, yes. And they want to raise up this god, whatever it is. And so she says, give me the seal of Metatron. So, and I think she'd done something. I can't remember. She'd done or said something. I can't remember. And it made Pyramid Head react. So we see him start to free himself from his chains and stuff. God is in his silent hill, not his holy temple. Hey, Poltergeist 2. A good sequel. I like Poltergeist 2. Anyway, so she says, she's going to give her she gives her the seal of Metatron, because she says, this will make the real you appear, or whatever, the real evil inside her will manifest. Which I don't really understand. But anyway, because you'll see, here we go, she's threatening, there you go, she's threatening Heather, and we can see that Pyramid Head is getting closer. Remember, Pyramid Head serves Alessa. It's all Indian burial grounds, so why not? But it kind of isn't, though, is it? In Poltergeist 2, going off topic again. Because in the first one, they said it was an Indian burial ground. Oh no, it wasn't, though. In the first one, it was just a burial ground. It was just a cemetery, wasn't it? Did they mention Indians in it? I can't remember. Or was the cemetery built on an Indian burial ground? Which were later the houses were built on that. I don't know, but anyway. And in the second one, it was just under the house were where Cain had him and his followers went, didn't they? And he like lured them to their deaths or whatever, a bit like a Heaven's Gate cult sort of thing, wasn't it? But anyway, whatever. Right, we're going off tangent again. Right, so here he comes. Look, here he comes. He's going to go and save Alessa. Because she keeps threatening her, but she's going to give her the there we go, going to give her the seal of Metatron, and let's see what she says, because I can't remember the exact words. They're going to show us what she says. Come on, subtitles, damn you. There, it's glowing, look. Oh, for Pete's sake, would you say it, will you? Come on. Oh, look, she's gone all evilly a bit, and it goes into her. Is she gonna say it, or was it earlier on? For Christ's sake, subtitles, for God's sake. Speak. Oh, for God's sake. She says if you do, it'll make the evil come out of you. Oh, but people show you how you really are. Anyway, so she does this, and she turns. This is the end of Carrie Ann Moss, by the way. As we see. Sorry, I thought that was Ian McDiarmid for a second there, just as a whip by, but it's not. She turns into, the missionary. I'll just look a bit like Voldemort, after a bender. There we go. She turns into the missionary, and I don't know why. So, who were the missionary we saw earlier on? I don't know. All right, just white people burial ground. Well, whatever, I don't know. But anyway. So she's just turned into the missionary now. Who were the missionary earlier? Or is there two missionaries now? I don't know. I don't get it. So anyway, she's turned into the missionary. So there we go. And now she's going to fight the Pyramid Head. So they're going to fight each other. As I said in the director's comment, it's like a boss battle now, but two bosses fighting each other. So there we go, they're fighting. So she's going to save, her dad and Vincent. I don't know what everybody else has have they just run off? I don't know. All the brotherhood and brethren and all that. They've just disappeared, haven't they? But they're fighting each other and stabbing each other and giving it all that. And apparently they could hardly see the two stunt actors, an stunt actor and a stunt actress. They could hardly see each other. The fella in the Pyramid Head, he had a bit of, gauze or something that he could just about see through. And she can kind of see through, but not a lot. So, they had to be well choreographed. But they're all just sodded off, aren't they, the others? Did he show them running off? I don't know. I'm going to go back. I want to see what happened to the rest of the Brotherhood. See if it shows them running off. Here he comes. There she is. Did they all run off as she changed? Just bear with me. No, they're just there, look. They're watching. Oh, no, they're off. They're off, look. Is that it? Is that all we see them? Is that all we see of them? That's it, yeah. I think that's it. You just get a hint that they're going to go running off. So, right, they've abandoned. Oh, hang on, they're there in the background. Oh, no, he's just standing watching, look. God knows. God knows. Right, anyway, so they're going to fight. There we go. They start fighting. As she's helping get Harry out. Harry/Christopher. But they're... I didn't like this. This wasn't a good effect. She stabs Pyramid Head with her sword because she's got sword for hands. And it looks very CG because there's a lot of wobble on the the thing that's there that stabbed him. No, never mind. But anyway, they want the best. But whatever, it's fine. They attack each other. She stabs him. He stabs her. She stabs him in the Pyramid Head. I don't know what he looks like underneath that, but and then he's had enough. Then he just chops her head off. Has a bit of a spin round. There we go, a bit more. Oh, here we go. Here it comes. There we go. He not only chops her head off, chops her arm off as well. Look. There we go. Cool. Monster dead. So that's the end of Claudia / the missionary. And still don't understand who the missionary was earlier on in the film. Why did they just make her a different monster? Don't know. But they wanted it. That's why they made it in the game. The missionary was a male monster, but they wanted this one to be female. So they wanted it to be a female monster fighting a male monster. So there we go. And obviously the male monster won. Yeah, because it's non-woke. Just make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. We're still going on the various things. Yeah. Right. So where were we? Right. So there we go. And Pyramid Head just wanders off again. Turns round and wanders off. And I wonder if he's actually a really muscly man, or is that a suit? Do you reckon? Who did they say played him? Red Pyramid, Roberto Campanella. Let's see if there's any pictures of him. See if he's a big muscly man. Oh, no, he ain't. No, he ain't. So it's obviously, it must be a suit then, a big rubber suit he's wearing. So it's not a muscly man. Right. So off he goes wandering off again. He looks good. It looks like I wouldn't have known. I thought they were just a muscly man. I thought they might have got a wrestler in or something. But it must be a rubber suit. So off he goes anyway. There he goes. Right, so they get out. There we go. Just fades to white. Doesn't show us them getting out. What's happened to the rest of the brethren? Dunno. They've sodded off. So they're coming out now. And I think the ash has stopped falling. We've just got mist now. I think it actually does say it. Is it? There we go. It's stopped. Does this? There we go. The ash. It's stopped. So there's no ash falling now. It's just mist, and that's gonna clear up any minute. They're walking out, but then Harry / Christopher stops, and he says he's got to stay because he's got to find Rose. Rose is still trapped somewhere in Silent Hill. So he's going to stay, and he says to Vincent, "Look after my daughter, will you?" And he says, "I don't think I need to, but, whatever." So that's what he's going to do. So they say, "I love you too, blah, blah, blah." So he's going to stay in Silent Hill, and she's going off with Jon Snow. Right, off he goes. And then, you see, as he disappears into the mist recedes. Look, he disappears with the mist. And there you go, down it goes down the street. It kind of reversed the fog. John Carpenter's The Fog. But you see that the fog's lifting here, and it actually goes round this corner if you watch. Let me just go back a bit further. It goes round that corner. Whoop. Right, so off they go. So Silent Hill's a normal town now, or is it? Because I'm not sure about the ending, but never mind. Right, so they're walking out of town, and this truck arrives, and the hitchhiker, it stops, and this is Travis Grady, introduces himself, who's from Silent Hill Origins. Excuse me. From Silent Hill Origins. I can't remember if I've played that one or not. I don't know, but I'm sure all people hitchhike all introduce themselves. I don't know. I've never hitchhiked, but he says. So off he goes, leaving Silent Hill. And then the truck goes round the corner. As the truck goes round the corner, police cars that speeded up. They wanted them to get there quicker, so they speeded it up a bit. Come round, followed by a prison bus. I say, if you know the games, there we go. They go round the corner, and that's from Silent Hill. I've forgotten. Downpour, or was it Homecoming? Can't remember. One of them. Which is, there's a character on the prison bus who's in one of the games. So a little nod there to the games again. But as that happens, as they disappear, the mist starts descending again, and the ash as well starts descending again. There we go. So what's happened? I thought they'd beaten it. Obviously not. Maybe you never can. Maybe just they've beaten it for themselves. But there'll always be Silent Hill for somebody, because that's the end of the film. There we go. Then we get groovy credits. Wingress says, reverse the polarity of the something clever. Yes. Of the doodah what's it. We're renaming the city after a long history of horror. Welcome to Raccoon City. Yes, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Because that's what you do if something's bad and causes lots of problems. You just rename it, don't you? Like they did with Windscale. They just renamed it to Sellafield. There were a Windscale in the UK, where a nuclear power plant was in Cumbria, and there were lots of controversy about it, back in the day in the 70s and early 80s, I think. And for some reason, they just changed its name to Sellafield, and everything was lovely. Anyway. I think Windscale's most famous thing, he writes it at the end of The Medusa Touch. Richard Burton writes it at the end of Medusa Touch. Spoilers. Cool film is The Medusa Touch. Anyway, right, so that's the end of Silent Hill Revelation. Ooh, that's nice. That's a bit of dark nurse cleavage there. But there we go. Written and directed by Michael J. Bassett, who is now M.J. Bassett. And now is a she. But, Michael Burnham's a she, so I could stick with that. Anyway. I like it. I like both Resident Evil films. I think they're both fine. I think the first one's, slightly better. I think the second one's I don't know. It goes by quicker because it is a shorter film. It's half an hour shorter than the first film, so I think it's a bit more, streamlined, and they get it on with it. But anyway, they're doing a similar thing here. Microsoft is reopening 3 Mile Island, and they'll probably name it something cute and fun. Hey, dear. I was trying to think of something witty and couldn't. Anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of both Silent Hill films. But we've got another one coming, haven't we? And I can't remember what. Return to Silent Hill. Let's have a look. It's right. It's shot. It's in post production. Has it got James Sunderland in? Yes, it has. It's got James Sunderland. Jeremy Irvine as James Sunderland, Hannah Emily Anderson as Mary, Evie Templeton as Laura. That's the only cast we know. And it's Christoph Gans is back directing it. Have I done a video about this? It does sound familiar. I might have done. But it's essentially Silent Hill 2, I think, what they're doing. But anyway, so there we go. You know what? I might have to... I know there's a remake, isn't there? A remaster, or whatever you want to call it, of Silent Hill 2. I wonder how much it is. If it don't cost an arm and a leg, I might have a look. Anyway. Which is also in Pennsylvania near the coal fires. Maybe they'll join forces. They'll double it up for extra dangerousness. Anyway, right. So I say I like both the Silent Hill films. The second one, obviously, a lower budget. I think the effects are not quite as good as the first film, but it is a more streamlined movie, in my opinion. It moves along at a fair old clip. The director did say that he wished he had more time in the film to, open it up a bit, but he must have been given the mandate. It's got to be 90 minutes. But anyway, so there we go. But I do think they're both good films, and by two good directors. Christoph Gans, a good director, and M.J. Bassett's a good director as well. Because Solomon Kane's a pretty good film. I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. I got rid of it. Never mind. What are the other? Rogue, that Megan Fox film with Rogue. I've not seen that one, but it's got Megan Fox in it, so I'll have to check it out. Anyway. Set in the same universe as these two? Well, I imagine so. If Christoph Gans is back directing it, does it say who wrote it? Screenplay. It hasn't got Roger Avery back, but screenplay by Christoph Gans. I imagine it'll be set in the same universe. It'll be at least in the same universe as the first one, won't it? I imagine. Let's have a quick. Great stream as always. Need to get sleep, mate. See you next time. See you, mate. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll watch your video tomorrow at 2. Today at 2, because it's after midnight here. 1:45 in the morning. That's what it is. Yep. So cheers, Melvin. I'll see you later. Right, where were we? I forgot what I was saying now. Right, so we'll leave it there. So what's coming up next? What day are we on? Friday. I might do... No, I don't overstretch myself again. Over the weekend, I've got to do my Babylon 5 video. It's a top 10. It was originally a top 13, because I couldn't decide. But I've decided top 10 favourite Babylon 5 episodes. I've whittled it down to 10, and there's one honourable mention. But on Monday is Magnificent Mondays, and this week we're doing... I was thinking, since Quincy Jones has sadly passed, I thought, well, and I got this before Quincy Jones passed. I've had recently I bought this, the Austin Powers box set. We're doing International Man of Mystery, the first one. If you wonder why I'm mentioning Quincy Jones, he did Soul Bossa Nova, basically the Austin Powers theme. Although he didn't do the music for the film, he did that. Soul Bossa Nova. So that's on Monday, and I haven't decided what next week's appointment with Fear is going to be. So there we go. Right. So no triple features. Although I kind of did one, didn't I? I've forgotten. What did I do a triple feature for? I did 3 films, didn't I? What was it? I did one film I did the first one for Appointment with Fear. I think it was Appointment with Fear. And then there were 3 more, weren't there? Oh, the Grudge. I did the Grudge triple feature, didn't I? Anyway, by the way, there's a character on the motion picture thing I got listed as. It got listed as an Orion. Oh. Cool. Oh dear. Bless him. I wonder if there's a Mugato in it as well. Anyway, right, we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. So thanks, Wingrace. Thanks, Sci-Fi Quest. Thanks, Josh Temple. Did anybody else pop in that I didn't notice? Just double check. No, right, fair enough. So, and thanks for everybody else who's watched the stream. We've finally got to the end. I'll just double check on Rumble, make sure there's no chats coming. No, there aren't. Right, so we're okay, we're fine, we can go. We can go to bed now, or if you're in America, do whatever you're doing over there. It's early evening, I think. So get ready for dinner. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. Hang on, I'll get myself sorted before I start. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to, hang on. What have I done here? I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Here we go. Get that back up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. And all that stuff. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. It'd be lovely. So, but we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say there.